Hello, hello. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, all good.
Cool. Fred, you can hear me?
Yep. Yeah, loud and clear.
Sweet. I'm just letting more people in here. Hey, Olivia, what's up? Can you hear me?
Hey there. The
Cool.
timing is good. Sorry, I'm eating my late lunch.
No worries, no worries. Cool. Yeah, so we have some new people in here. Fred, I haven't met you. My name is Nick. Every Sunday I have just a live stream that, I help everybody with anything that they need. I've been getting a lot of questions lately about prospecting, finding clients. I put together, the course for that, but you have me for as long as we need to go through all of this. And, you know, what I usually do is just go around, raise your hand in the Zoom. And then you can I'll just pick on whatever questions that you guys have. If you don't have any questions, I can kind of go through some some stuff that I'm doing and go from there. So if anybody has questions, feel free to raise your hand or just start asking and we can go from there. All right. So yeah, this week, well, last week was Christmas and I've really been trying to figure out how am I going to grow my agency to to a larger audience as well as, charge more money for it, right? While helping the businesses get off the ground and automate their stuff, whether it's AI, whether it's, automations that they need and whatnot. And so I sent out an email to everyone. Russell Brunson, who is the founder of what's it called? Of ClickFunnels. He had an event last week that really opened up my eyes to some stuff. I have been following Russell Brunson for years. I've read all of his books. I'm sure you guys know who he is from ClickFunnels. And when I go and I learn things from people, I try to only stick with the ones who have done it, right? And so anything that I sell to you guys or to clients, my real estate here in Mexico, Amazon stores that I used to do, like all of that stuff, I always do it first. And I do that because I want to make sure that obviously, it works and I'm not going to put my name on it until I've done it or I know somebody very close to me has done it and I can vouch for them. But Russell Brunson is someone that I look up to and he made it apparent in this 3-day event. So this event was 3 days, every single day. It was 9 hours. Um, I knew that it would probably be like some sort of sales thing just because that's how he operates, which is fine. He delivers so much value and then he has like a done for you service. But the biggest thing that stood out to me was selling one to many. What I've been doing, I've been on calls with Olivia too, with some of her potential clients. Um, Tomorrow, Jeff, I'll probably be on one of your calls. Um, is we've been selling one to one. And although it's good, I mean, I have a lot of clients that I get from Upwork, and I'll continue to do that because Upwork is the easiest place. People per hour, Fiverr.com. I mean, those are where the people are literally asking to pay somebody to do stuff that we can do and that, you know, you already they're already looking for someone like ourselves. Just to make sure you guys can hear me.
Yes,
Yep.
we can.
Yeah.
All
Yeah,
good.
Okay.
yeah.
And so in this 3-day event, it was 9 hours every day. I mean, I sat here at the computer and I really tried not to get distracted. one to many. And what Russell Brunson does is he works through webinars. And so I'm in the process right now of basically following his perfect webinar framework to run ads to it and get people to a live webinar. And this way I can start selling custom builds to an audience that needs it, right? And so I'm probably going to do two different types of testing. One would be a paid webinar to filter out those who are serious and those who are not. So, you know, a $7, $9 webinar, which would allow me to basically just have a self-liquidating offer of getting my marketing for free. And so the people that would be on that are obviously, I mean, $7, $9 is not the end of the world to somebody to change or add AI into their business, right? And so that comes down to the offer. Every single thing that, you know, myself, Adam, Brendan, Raul, Cody, and the GSD group go over, I mean, Russell himself, everybody, the offer has to be attractive, right? And so I understand that. But that $7 webinar, I plan on just running these webinars and getting as many people in there as possible. So that's one thing for the $7 webinar. The other one is maybe just run a leads campaign and probably get, you know, $1, $2 leads, and then just have my AI go out and qualify them or send them to the live webinar link. And then if they miss it, so I'm probably going to do one webinar a week, which would probably be on Wednesdays. And this is what Russell Brunson taught in that event is you do it on Wednesdays and then you run ads to the replay on Friday. So that way you're only really working one day of the week. And it's about 45 minutes to an hour long webinar. And you're closing people on, you know, different types of products or services, right? So my goal, what I've been selling is anywhere between like 4 to 6,000 and then above to like 10 to $14,000 sell custom builds. But I know for a fact, and Olivia knows for a fact, there are companies out there that are spending a ton of money, and I would like to hone in on those pain points. And some of those pain points are, you know, you're letting leads slip through the cracks, right? You have to hire maybe an internal relations team, some sort of sales development representative or a business development representative to do that. And they don't have ways to track it. And so where I want to hone in on is basically like have people like the advertisement or the landing page or whatever it is, you know, your average checkout price. The people that this is going to suit are like high ticket people. Like the average checkout price is somewhere, but you know, a roofing company, it's a, you know, a $40,000 roof. I don't know what the margins are on that, but you know, someone that's making 5, 10, 15, $20,000 per sale. And so instead of me talking to one-on-one with people and going through this entire process, just basically do the entire webinar of here's what we need to do in order to work together. We need to build out this project scope document. And then from that project scope document, we now have a build that we're going to do. And then I'll standardize it. You know, it's going to be $15,000 or $20,000 to get this going. Ideally, if I can find the sweet spot between selling the webinar for $7 and basically breaking even, right? So it cost me $7 to get someone to the webinar. Well, if I have 100 people that sign up and I spent, you know, $700 on ads, well, I made $700 back. So it's basically free, right? That's the sweet spot I need to look for. And that's what I'm going to be focusing on in 2025. So why am I sharing this with you guys? You know, I think that a lot of us, me myself included, is like we get our first couple of sales and we want more. And that's the exact same, that's the exact case for me. Is how do I streamline this to scale it? So Adam and Brendan have been able to obviously help me scale all of this to where I'm not doing one-on-one. The one-on-one is, yeah, it's covering my rent, it's covering my golf, my beer money, going out to dinner, and things like that. But it's not really saving me or getting me enough money to where I was when I was working, full time at a corporate company. I don't want to work at a corporate company, but I need to close, if I could close three or four $15,000 bills a month, the what's it called? The profit on that is going to bring me to, $15,000-$20,000 a month just off holding these webinars. Do I think that it's going to work? Do I know that it's going to work? I mean, if I wanted to learn how to play golf, I'm not probably going to ask Mario or Jeff or Fred or Andy in here, right? I mean, I don't know your skill level on golf, but I'm going to probably go and try to find Tiger Woods or his coach or somebody, right? And so if you learn from the best, then their successes and mimicking what they're doing should be successful for you. So I am just strictly following this 3-day, 9-hour event that Russell Brunson did and following his perfect webinar script. So in his entire thing, right? He basically did a 3-day event. It was $100. And he sold a $10,000 done for you service. You link up with their team. If I wanted to go and have them do this for me, I could pay 10 grand and they would go and do it. I don't really have 10 grand to throw into that right now. And so I'm gonna just do it myself, but it's just a matter of time and money. Like I have the time to do it. And I have my other, one-on-one sales that I'm doing as well. And so I'm just taking in all of this. It's a new thing to me. It's been right in front of me the whole time. I mean, it's been in front of all of us. Russell Brunson has these webinars all the time. That's how he's been able to sell over $1 billion online. He's the only person that's ever done it. And what he's doing is he's just holding webinars. And as you search on YouTube and you find out kind of like, you know, is this working for other people? You could go to YouTube and type in how to sell or how to sell one-to-many using webinars or whatever. There's tons of videos online and there's a lot of people that are doing it. And it just comes down to the funnel, the offer, and like what is the content in the video or in the webinar. So that's something. Yeah, Jeff, it's tons. There's tons of videos on YouTube of this webinar funnel. I don't know why. I think that I've been kind of afraid to do it because I've been focused on this Upwork and these prospecting methods that I teach of, cold email. The cold email works, but again, it's one-to-one. Cold email is one-to-many in the sense of reaching out, but the meetings are one-to-one. And I think that shifting my mindset and opening this up to your guys' mindset is selling one-to-many. So I'm gonna call Jeff out. Jeff just texted me a little while ago saying that he's gonna be speaking with about 15, people in the next couple of weeks. And I thought that this was a perfect place to talk about this because if Jeff, you could put together some sort of presentation and follow what's his name? Russell Brunson's perfect webinar script. I'll share my screen. This is the video that I'm watching. The perfect webinar, Russell Brunson. This video right here Let me share my screen. This video right here came out 5 years ago, and there's only 11,000 people that have watched it. But this literally is his exact blueprint of how to do this. And it's funny when I went through this, is without watching this is the same exact way that I sell to my clients. It's just I don't have a framework. Like I don't follow really a framework just because I have my own and it's in my head. Like I'm not the best teacher for this stuff. I'm trying to find this thing. That's the webinar. So this right here is kind of all my webinar stuff, but you have an intro, and I'll share this video with you guys to go through and look at it if this is something that you want to do. But you have your bold promise, and then you have a hook to the end. So my hook to the end is I'll just give you a free, I'll give you a free Go High Level account if you stick to the end, right? It doesn't cost me anything. They can just get a free thing. But I know that it's going to cause more problems because they're going to get into Go High Level and they're not going to know basically how to use it. So they can get on my email list and I can start sharing stuff with them, and then you command attention, you qualify yourself, and then you kind of future pace. But the content is really just the one thing that you're going to focus on. So the one thing that I plan to focus on is adding AI into your business. And then you have 3 secrets, and basically this is just break down their belief patterns and then rebuild them. So I went through and, basically my secret is integrating with their existing systems is too complex. Don't want to disrupt the current process, and they see the need for a significant IT expertise. Well, I'm here to tell you that all we need to do is just build out this, this detailed project scope document. This is what our team does, and we can connect it with whatever it is that you need to do, right? So that's secret number 1 that I've come up with, then secret number 2 and secret number 3. And then just give them a stack of things that they're going to get. They're going to get the project scope document. They're going to get the AI license from Marcus. They're going to get, full-on support and SOPs. They're going to get, I don't know, I haven't gotten this far yet. I've just been building out this whole entire structure and then, this presentation for stuff. So I have about 21 pages that I worked on between yesterday and today and just going through here. So this is kind of my 2025 initiative. I think 2024 was great for me to kind of understand what these business owners need. But going back to the book that I always recommend to you guys is 10x is easier than 2x. I think by running these webinars and clearly putting these types of advertisements, so maybe I should make a list of all the people that I follow and I learn this stuff from. Like these are some of the ads that I'm running, is like they're just straightforward of unlock high ticket sales opportunities with proven systems, 83% close rate, 22,700 monthly revenue, 100% show rate, and a team to fulfill. And then people come and purchase this. So, I mean, some of you guys actually might have purchased this already. So like these little stupid, simple ads, I mean, really are generating some good money. Like today was $66. This week was $3,600 in just simple transactions for buying these high ticket playbook and the prospecting course that I have that teaches all this stuff, right? And so this is working. And now what I would like to do is just change these up to attention, business owners making $1 million a year. Unlock, or increase your sales by 211% with a proven system, adding AI to replace, missed opportunities. And we have a webinar on Wednesdays, right? And it's $7.19 to attend. So I'm clearly qualifying them in the ad, running the ad, and then having them come to the webinar. They already paid $7, so hopefully that will offset my advertising spend, and basically I just get the marketing done for free. Maybe I make, you know, $20 or something like that. I don't care about that, but I want to get in front of $1 million businesses who know, and Olivia, like yourself, me and you have been on these calls where they are paying 10, 15, $20,000 a month for a system that isn't even doing what we have the capability of doing, right? And I'm saying Olivia because me and her were on a call with a potential client, but you know, they're busy, they don't see this, so we're doing one-to-one. But if I can get 15 or 20 people in there and just get 2 out of the 15 to buy a $15,000-$20,000 build, now I don't know. I mean, I think the wording on the advertisement, even though it's $7, I don't know if you can go from $7 to 15 grand, but if I really hone in on this process right here from Russell Brunson, because Russell's doing it. He's selling $100 training, and then he's selling a $10,000 item. And on that call, he had over 700 people show up all 3 days. Like I was on the call for 9 hours a day. And on the third day, by the end of the third day, there was still about 500 people on the call. So he had a drop off of 200 over 3 days. I don't know how many sales he made of 10 grand, but I think I mean, he even said he gets a 15% close rate. So 700 people times 15% is 100 people, 105 people to buy a $10,000 item. That's $1 million on top of the 700 people that he had come for $100. He made 70 grand just off having a 3-day event. That doesn't include, you know, there was a VIP for 497, so maybe 100 people bought the 497 one, so he made another 50 grand. Like he's running these things, and if you guys are not paying attention to, I mean, Russell Brunson, this guy Jeff Miller, if you don't know him, I mean, he's the one that I have. This is most popular person's name, Jeff Miller, Facebook ads.
I know.
This guy, I mean, yeah, Jeff Miller right here.
I bought his course actually.
Who said that?
Olivia.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
Jeff,
he's good.
this guy is low key like one of the best guys in this industry. He's only got, you know, 3,000 friends on Facebook, and he doesn't care about all of his he doesn't care about all of, you know, making content and whatever. This guy's killing it, and I have learned so much from him. That's where these ads come from. Like it's just straight to the point. This is what it costs, $7.19. Click the button, go to the landing page, and you're there, right? So I always try to find these people that are doing this and crushing it. Russell Brunson's one, Jeff Miller's another one, Lead Gen J. He's an amazing guy for cold email. I mean, he helped me land an enormous partnership that I'm also working on top of this. And so some of the stuff I talk about is, you know, regurgitated, but every single thing in marketing is regurgitated. Russell Brunson's not teaching anything, you know, proprietary and amazing other than ClickFunnels. I mean, he's the one that started funnels. But if you listen to him and then you go and listen to Alex Hermosi, they're still all talking about the same sales tactics and the same crux of it. They just have different frameworks, right? I learned pretty well from Russell Brunson because he organizes this. Like this is extremely easy to just look at and understand. Okay, here's your intro. Here's the content. There's one thing. You have secret one. You make that easy. You move to secret 2, you make that easy for them. You move to secret 3, you make that easy for them. And now they want to buy. So you just offer stack. You're going to get this. you're gonna get this, you're gonna get this, you're gonna get this, and it all costs X amount of dollars. And then he has different methods of closing, but he says that the stack is the easiest closing. And then you have a call to action. Click the link here. It's only going to last for 24 hours, blah, blah, blah. And so this is what I'm going to work on for 2025 is one to many. Now, I am in the process of putting all of this in there. So this just finished. I recorded all of Russell Brunson's 3-day events, and it was like 39 gigabytes each video. And I just figured out how to like, what's it called? Crush them or compress them. So I uploaded all, why is this not loading? I uploaded all the videos. If you guys have the sales course, you have all 3 days of the videos in here, but I don't know why it's not loading. I'm gonna just show you. Yeah, there it goes. So I uploaded some videos today. So here's basically the entire sales structure that that I've created of just selling these high ticket items. And it's funny because I mean, you learn things in your career. So for 20 years, 15 years, I've been doing sales, but I've never structured my sales process like this. But this is pretty close on what I do. And then, so I put a video here. Some of you guys might have been on this webinar. It's with me, Adam, Brendan, Raul, Cody, in one of the groups. I just snipped the video because I explained it there. But at the bottom here, I have day 1, day 2, and I just finished compressing this. I have to upload it here in a minute. But, this is literally 6 hours and 25 minutes of Russell Brunson going through and doing everything. This one was 6.5 hours. And then this one was day 1. Maybe you can download it and run it through ChatGPT. This was 8 hours and 44 minutes. On one of the days, I did have a meeting and I had to cut out for about 45 minutes to an hour, so I didn't get to record it, but I don't think you're going to miss an hour out of 27. Like, you don't need that hour. So all of this is just in here. And, we got in breakout rooms with people all around the world. And so he goes through the perfect webinar. Again, this is what he's talking about. And this is how he is selling $1 billion worth of stuff online. So my goal is I'm going to mimic this. Maybe I should put, you know what I should do? I should put this perfect webinar in here so that you guys can have it. I'll put that right here. So perfect webinar. Actually, I should put it in day 2 because that's where it started. Oh, no, day 1. So, oops. There you go. So it's there. And so, yeah, I mean, this is what I'm doing. I'm not trying to throw you guys off of your course of action of what you guys plan to do or want to do. But I think that, oh, and Andy said, what course? It's in the live sales calls. So this is my back end, but when you log into it, you should be able to see everything here. I need to add a thumbnail there, but these are all the calls that you guys have, right? And then at the bottom, it's right here. And then I added some new sections in here with you guys. So Olivia, I should add our calls in here too.
Yeah.
I can add our calls in here. I forgot about that. Well, maybe we don't need to add them.
We should talk about later about the client that we worked on together. Follow
Yeah,
up.
yeah. And then I'll upload this day 3. What happened is I just got done compressing it. So it went from oh, this is still 8 GB.
Nick, did you get the link that I sent you on how to
Yeah,
compress?
I went through that, but it actually turned, so it was 39 gigabytes or 26 gigabytes. And when I did that through CapCut, it wanted 76 gigabytes. What I found was this program right here, Handbrake, and it just compressed everything for me. So I was able to get it. I don't know why this one is 8 and that one's 2. I need to get this less than 5 because Go High Level doesn't allow me to upload over 5 gigabytes. Anyway, I'll get it done sometime this week or tonight. I don't know why it didn't do that. But anyway, so
Nick, you need to change, just in Handbrake, you need to change the compression rate to about 30, not 22.
okay, show me.
So in Handbrake, when you go in there, it's got a setting, the slider down about the middle of the page, it's got about 22, I think there. Move it to 30.
Move it to 30.
Yeah. Right.
Oh,
And then make sure on the video page that you've actually got it set for web optimization. So there's another setting when you look at the video itself. I can barely see your screen,
yeah, you know what?
right?
There was a thing for that. That was in
There's the two
oh yeah,
settings for video.
web
Yeah,
optimized.
so you've got it web optimized. That's cool. But the compression is 30. Usually I find 30 works great and it just really compresses it down.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I'll redo it again in a little bit. So, but yeah, all of that stuff is added in there for you guys. I mean, now I don't know if that's illegal that I recorded his thing and put it in there, but don't tell on me. If I get a cease and desist, I'm gonna know it was one of you guys. Um, but no, I mean, I don't think he cares. He puts all his stuff out for free anyway. His goal is to get you to buy ClickFunnels or join his courses or I don't know, whatever it is. So yeah, I mean, that's basically what my goal and my plan is for the next couple of months. I want to build it into a machine so that every Wednesday, I don't know what time it will be, let's say 2 p.m. or 5 p.m. or whatever it is. I just do a live webinar and I go through and I just, the first week, the first one's probably going to be a little scratchy. The second one, I'll be able to adjust and change my presentation. Third, fourth, fifth, sixth, just keep getting it better and better until I start closing these deals. And it's something that I learned from Russell Brunson, which is funny because I have all of his books and I've been following him forever, and it's been sitting in front of me, but I just never thought of that thing to do, which makes sense. Selling one to many is way easier than selling one to one. And now I'm gonna shift away from working in my own business to working on my business. If I can just have one sales call with 20 people a week or 10 people a week or even 4 people a week, and close at least one or two, that's 5, 6, 7, 8, $8,000 profit for me after sending everything to Adam and Brendan to fulfill it. I don't know if they even know I'm about to do that, but I'm gonna have to tell them. So,
I have a question.
sure, Kathy.
Okay, so when you're moving to this direction, I'm doing a training right now that they recommend doing this anyway as part of your sales process anyway. And are you going to now switch over to a niche now that you're doing this? Are you going to move towards niching down?
No, my niche is, I guess I kind of do have a niche, but my niche will be like $1 million revenue a year companies that don't have automations or AI in place, right? But I'm not going to niche down to each individual company types, like a roofing company or a dentist or something like that. I'm gonna cast a wide net. But in the advertisements, I think you jumped in a little bit after I was going through the ads, is like attention, and this comes from Jeff Miller, attention, $1 million revenue businesses, right? It's $1 million revenue businesses. If you're struggling with leads falling through the cracks, or I don't know, I haven't come up with the hooks or what that will look like just yet. But that will be my niche. It's the same as what I do on Upwork, because what I've seen is, I mean, I'm working with an international surfing company that creates this wave inside a lake, or yeah, like a lake. It's called Surf Lakes. It's a plunger. I have medical clinics that I'm working with. I have financial advisors. I have, I don't know, I have all kinds of random companies. But if I honed in on just financial advisors, I'm missing out on all that other business. Like, it
Yeah,
doesn't matter to me what the company does, because the business processes, and I'm going to focus on the customer journey. So it's like, if you don't have your customer journey in place or knocked down to a T, or just have this simple document of so we call it the project scope document because we're selling it to them. But really, that project scope document is really their entire processes for their business. If they don't even have that, then they don't really have a scalable business, because they have it all in their head. And that's what I've been learning from having all these meetings, is they just don't have that locked in. And that's where the pain points are. And once they see that, then my credibility and our credibility goes up, because they're like, oh, this guy's not trying to sell me something. This guy's like a consultant. Like, he knows what he's talking about. He knows what he's doing. He has the team that can fulfill this. He knows AI. I mean, the other day I had a call with this guy, and what they do is they go to insurance companies, and like, if you're, let's say, Kathy, you had a boat and a hurricane came and it's not sunk the boat, but it broke the boat, it totaled the boat, right? Somebody could probably fix it, but it would cost more than the boat is worth. So they total it. So then the insurance company seizes the boat, right? And so this guy goes and he buys the boat from them and puts it in an auction. And so he's basically giving money to the insurance company and saying, hey, I want to buy your boat, the airplane, the helicopter, the car, the motorcycle, whatever it is that was seized, because they got their insurance payout. And he goes and purchases that from them. Now, he just signed up with Salesforce, and he's spending like $3,500 a month or something on it. And I reached out to him. I said, look, I can do what you're looking for. I usually wouldn't try to convince you to transfer to a different CRM system, but it might make sense. And I went through that simple process. The first call was, and I'm mad because it didn't record, and I'm mad because it was a good call. But he was like, no, I don't want to switch. And then we just went through, and I said, look, do you have this document? It's a project scope document. This is your customer journey. And he was like, no, that actually, all that stuff is in my head. You know what? It'd be a good idea, mate. Yeah, I'll pay you 250 to do it. He paid me 250 on Thursday last week, and I was trying to get it done before the holidays. And Adam and Brendan are going to have it done by tomorrow. And yesterday, when I was playing golf, the guy was texting me, hey, dude, is this document going to be done? Because my decisions are based on what you're going to come back with. So now I got him into a point where he's hitting me up. He told me, no, I'm not going to do this. Okay, I'll buy the document, to now him wanting the document. So, like, I would never niche down to an insurance company or niche down to whatever, because I'm honing in on the problems that they don't even know that they have. And that's what the webinar is going to show. The webinar is not really going to be me selling anything. It's going to be me talking about, if you don't have this document, if you think that you're adding AI into your business is going to take away the personalization or replace your workers or whatever, you're right. Customers don't want to wait for 24 hours. If someone has a roof leak or something wrong with their roof and they find you on Google and you guys are closed on Saturday and Sunday and you don't have AI to respond, what is your client, what is that potential client going to do? They're going to go right to the next Google search and they're going to call them. And that competitor, they're going to have AI in there and they just stole your competition from you. So like you have to have AI in here. And if you don't have this customer journey document or you don't have this mapped out, then you're missing, you don't even know how much money you're missing out on, right? So that's what the webinar is going to be. And that's how I sell because it's shifting me from being outside of a salesperson to a consultant, but telling them and doing what that thing said, focus on one thing, what Russell Brunson has at the top of his perfect webinar script, and then secret one, secret two, secret three. Each one of those secrets are problems that they have this false belief about. Oh, if I add AI, one, it's going to replace my workers, and I don't think that the AI is smart enough to do that. Or, two, I like personalization in my business, and people are going to be annoyed when they're talking to a bot, right? Well, what they don't know what they don't know. No, we're not replacing your team. We're making your team more optimized or just optimized by only allowing the team to talk to people who are ready to pay you. And we qualify them with the AI, right? So I squash that belief. Then you squash the second one and you squash the third. And then you're like, okay, click here. It's 15 grand. We can get it done in 6 weeks and you'll be making 211% more than what you're making now. And it doesn't have anything to do with the niche. It has all to do with the business processes that every business has, no matter what industry it is. If it's a hairstylist, they still get a lead from Google and they still got to cut the person's hair and they got to follow up with the person after 6 weeks when their hair grows back to get them to come back in, right? Or, a dentist. Every 6 months, you got to have them come back and get an X-ray or get a tooth cleaning. It's the same thing. With the financial advisor, hey, we saw that you got a raise at work. You want to put 2% of their paycheck into the fund that we've been growing for the past 6 years, things like that, right?
You're right. It's just I've noticed I like the fact that you don't go after a niche. Um, I've just noticed a lot of the trainers are about niches, and there's an old saying, there's riches and niches. Um, you know,
Well, just remember, I am niching down.
you
I'm
are.
going for $1 million a year businesses, right? Or I'm going for companies that don't have processes. I can't niche down on Upwork. It's all right there.
Yeah.
Those are people that are just come. Now, if I wanted to specialize, I thought about this, golf courses here in Mexico, right? The golf courses here in Mexico, you can't even go to their website and find their phone number. It's the most annoying thing. Like they need go high level. They need all of that. But I could niche down to golf courses just in the Riviera Maya. It would be what, there's probably like 15 of them here, but I would be spending so much time to just convince 15 golf courses that they need this when I would be missing out on money because I'm trying to focus on one thing. I'm still focused on one thing. I'm focused on putting AI into businesses that make $1 million or more, but it doesn't matter what that business is, right? So
Yeah.
that's still my niche. It's just a broader niche. Well, maybe it's not that broad because I don't know how many businesses make $1 million. Maybe I niche to $10 million, right? I
Yeah.
don't know.
So I was picking kind of sort of a niche, home service professionals. Um, that would be considered a niche, right? I don't have to do just roofers or just like home service people or
Yeah,
just
you could do
shower
cleaning,
inside.
you could do cleaning companies, you could do window cleaning companies, you could do power washing companies, you could do
I could
pool
do everyone
cleaning.
under that home service professionals. Now, I have kind of a dumb question, but I want I wanted to hear you explain why. Why is it that everyone picks the $1 million mark and not the $500,000 mark?
I don't know. I mean, I could pick a 10 million or $100 million a year business. I mean, I haven't gotten that far. I'm just building out the webinar.
Got it.
And
That,
I'll
because I
run
was
I'll run ads like, there might be a qualification process too of like how many employees do you have? Minimum, you have to have 5 employees to get on this webinar. Like the harder that I make it for them to qualify, the more money that I would spend in ads to get them there and the less amount of people I'd have on a webinar. But the more likely it is that I will close them because it's super focused on those people, right?
yeah.
And so I always make data-driven decisions. I look at the ads, I look at the results, I look at what people are watching, where the drop-off is, where they're clicking, like everything. I keep track of all of that so that I can adjust things. And if I'm getting too many people at 500,000, but no one's buying, then I would raise it to 1 million. And if I'm
Mhm.
getting the same amount of people, but more people are buying, then that's a
Yeah.
good, it's the same thing I did with, I started out selling this document for $150. Now I raised it to $250 because a lot of people were coming in. They were both buying the project scope document and buying the custom build. So I was like, well, why don't I just make it a little bit more difficult? 250. I'm now making an extra $100, but I'm also selling the same amount. And so, you know, but you also mentioned that you want to niche down. My thing to everybody that watches this or hears this is Upwork is the easiest place to get clients. There is no need to go out and try to cold call. There's no need for you to go out and try to do this on your own. Like all you do is you go to Upwork and you click find work and you just apply. If you can get so good at that and you charge $99, $150, $250, whatever it is, at $250 for every 4 meetings, you are making $1,000 just for 4 meetings. That's it. So like that's a business in itself. It's just a consultation. And the fall off, if you have 4 meetings, 2 of those people are going to buy a custom build. So not only did you make $1,000 for 4, you also made an extra whatever you sell it for, 5, 10, 15,000. Now, if you dish that off to Adam and Brandon and they fulfill it, obviously you're going to split the profit with them, but you're not doing any of the work. So that brings you back to go and get 4 more meetings, make another 1,000, sell 2 out of those 4, and now you're making like I sold a $12,500 deal. He paid $250, and I'm making $5,340 from it. I'm totally fine with that
Are you
because
not are you not doing a combination of the Upworks and the lead like your email outreach? Are you not doing the email outreach anymore?
I started doing the email outreach, but Upwork is so easy.
Got
It's
it.
so easy. I mean, I have all the what's called the cold email stuff set up. I haven't, because here's the thing. Now I have to go and find a list of all these people and download it and then keep feeding that machine. But I can spend $90 and
Yeah.
get 600 connects for $90. Land 4 meetings, make $1,000, sell 2, make 10 grand,
Yeah.
right?
You're right.
For
You're
$90. So for me, it doesn't make any sense. It makes more sense for me to double down on what is working. And now that I see what is working, I also have some case studies and I have like reviews and testimonials that I can go and I can hold a webinar and say, look, I did this for Surf Lakes. Look, I did this for Craft Men's Health,
Yep.
Craft Concierge, this. It works. The AI is operating and working and the systems are in place, right? So for you, where you were saying, I want to niche down, I want to do home services. Now you have to go and find those home services. You're going to get discouraged from being told no a million times when the gold mine is right here on Upwork. Every 5 minutes, there's a new job there. And if you just figure out and follow my course online
You're
of
right.
how to go through and perfect that, you won't have a problem getting clients ever. It's so beyond easy. It's time consuming in the sense of, what's the first method? Like, if you're not getting responses back, you're writing shitty messages. So change that shitty message and ask ChatGPT, look, here's a copy of all the messages that I've sent, but I'm not getting responses back. Have ChatGPT analyze it and say, look, this is what I'm sending. I'm competing with other people that are applying to the same jobs. How can I differentiate myself from the other people and get people to respond to me? And then inside Upwork, you can see, I'll show you, inside Upwork, you can see like who is like, look, this is 9 minutes ago. So Sundays are kind of slow because people aren't working, but these are all within the past. Go high level software builder needed 2 hours ago, right? They spent $6,000. This guy spent $3,000. Like, these people have the money. These are all people looking for it. But if I come in here and I go to, I think it's active contracts. No, it's contract. No, it's under proposals. So when I send this, if you were to go to ChatGPT and say, look, like, this one specifically was viewed by the client, how would I get him enticed enough to respond to me, right? And you go through and you copy this, like, you can, ideally, what you want to do is build out a prompt. So this is what I do for all my YouTube content. I build out a role, I build out a task, I build out before we start, and this is how this goes. So I come through here, I paste this entire thing, and then it just walks me through what I need to do. So it says, okay, let's get started. How long is the video intro? Please upload the video transcript so I can generate the timestamps for you. Provide the vidIQ key phrases. Confirm the title idea. So I paste all of that there. It gives me the timestamps. It goes through and says, okay, I have processed this. Here's the tags based off SEO. And it goes through and does all of that. So what you can do, and then it gives me the video description, the timestamps, how to. So this is what I just post inside my YouTube video based off, like, what the data shows me. So what you can do is create your own prompt and say role. I don't know why I named this guy Peter, but his name is Peter. You're Peter. You are an Upwork assistant in helping me land more clients from proposals. Your goal is to generate, I don't know, like, the perfect proposal to not only get open rates, but also get replies to get meetings set. Your task is to look at all the previous ones that I've applied to and analyze and break down what is not working to help me improve it. So you do, like, before we start, first, ask me for the most recent video, the most recent applications that I don't know, ask me for the most recent application that you sent, right? Or ask for the job details, right? So then you'd say, like, the first one is ask for the job details. Can you please copy and paste the job details? And then the second thing would be like, okay, second, request Kathy to upload what she sent to the person. So this is what I sent, right? And then they used to allow us to record a video, but now I think they took the video away because this was part of beta. I don't know. But whatever I said in the video, maybe I would just get the transcript and download it and get the transcript and then paste it there, right? And then you'd come through and say 3, ask any qualifying questions that you as ChatGPT, Peter, has that you might want to make a suggestion, right? And then you just create this whole process. And this way, every single time you want to go through, you just copy this and you place this into ChatGPT and you just make a new one and you just paste it and hit enter, and then it will say like, oh, okay, got it, let's begin. And now it's doing it all for you in the structure that you want it to do. You can do this for any task that you can think of, really.
Yeah.
I mean,
I have that for my sales. When after I finish a meeting, I have a prompt that takes my meeting notes and puts together a recap and stuff and proposal for my clients. I also have that for when I'm researching different clients. I have a prompt set up like that as well.
okay,
Would you mind sharing that prompt with me though, the YouTube one?
yeah, I can share with you.
Okay, thank you. I'm gonna start doing YouTube in the new year.
I can share it here. Just make a copy of it. I mean, I do this for a lot of stuff, like,
It's made life so much easier doing these prompts.
yeah, and yeah, it makes life way easier. I mean, it takes a little bit of time to do this, but you do this once and then you never have to do it again. Like, I found myself having lots of conversations with ChatGPT of the same thing over and over again. So I'm gonna put that here. And so, yeah.
Yeah, those were I made one. I wanted to research different before I started doing your system. um I would go to like different company websites and I set up a whole prompt that just took the link from their website and gave me all the information I needed so that
Mhm.
when I spoke to the person I'd have it right there. And that cut research time down by 15-20 minutes each
Yeah,
person.
yeah, that's perfect.
And then for proposals, I have a prompt for when I'm doing like my social media proposals that takes me through questions too. Like question number 1, question number 2, question number 3. But I like how you laid out your prompting compared to mine. So I'm gonna redo it based on the way you do yours.
Yeah, I have to give kudos to the person that taught me how to do that, and that's Jarrell. Jarrell is an absolute wizard. I that kid's head, he's not a kid, but that guy's head is his mind works in such a structured way that he breaks this stuff down in that structure, and it's super, super helpful. So that's where I learned it from.
Awesome. Is Jarrell part of our group?
Jarrell is the guy that develops all the AI for us in the Go High Level
Got it.
Mastery group. He
Got it.
he is incredible. He's behind the scenes, but he is awesome.
Got it.
Hey Gigi, you're on mute. I can't hear you.
Hey, hey, can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. How are you?
Okay. I'm good. I'm driving, so that's why I was having a difficult time unmuting.
That's okay.
So I have a question. So I do a lot of the same similar things. I take a lot of stuff, put it in ChatGPT and ask it to structure it accordingly or what have you. Um, can't we do kind of the same thing in creating those docs that Adam and Brandon kind of create? Like if it
Yeah,
understands,
we actually have been working on a prompt for that. It's difficult because it depends on how the conversation was recorded. So what I try to do when I go into these meetings is not talk about random stuff with the client. Like I make it very clear, like, look, this is going to take 45 minutes. We're just going to talk about this and we're going to go through the business processes, but it's not perfect. I did see the other day that they are coming out with ChatGPT version 0 or O3. They're
right?
skipping they're skipping O2, but apparently this is going to be the smartest one, and I'm kind of excited to see how that works. Because the prompts that I haven't put them together, but Jarrell has been putting them together, is it's not as accurate as we would like it to be.
Mm-hmm.
But I think you can do it in sections. Now, because I'm in the partnership program, I have these meetings and I just pass it off to Adam and Brendan. I
Right.
actually I don't make the documents because one, they are the ones that are giving me the price, right? So I don't know. I mean, I could build it a way that I would want to build it, but they could build it in a more streamlined way because they're just wizards at go high level. And so I just give them the recorded phone call, and I give them my notes that I do on the call with them, and then they send it back to me. They are using AI, they're using ChatGPT to help them with that, but we've been on calls and like my cousin works with them as well. We were talking the other day and it spit back. It's not perfect. It's not perfect.
Okay.
I think that maybe ChatGPT O3 will maybe be better. I don't know.
Are they using the one with reasoning, the O1? Because that one should be able to, not the O1 mini, but the O1 is
Yeah.
supposed to be like the one that, is really good at reasoning. So I would suggest maybe trying that, and then maybe even creating it as a GPT, so that from that point, it's just a matter of giving, I guess the recording of the video, because we can upload video recordings, I think, as well as audio recordings, and it'll analyze it.
Yeah, we always make assistants like what you said, like a actual GPT in the playground for that so that we have each one organized. Uh
Hmm.
And then, yeah, you can upload the video, or I just get the transcription from Fathom because I could just instead of downloading the video, I just hit copy the transcript, and it's the same thing to ChatGPT.
Right.
Uh,
Yep.
and
I
so,
use Fathom too.
yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know that process. I haven't really been. I don't need to be a part of that process, but I know that they're
Okay.
working on it. But for you. I mean, I would look at the structure that I just shared in the group, like just
Uh,
follow that where it has, role, task. You can create before we start. There's times where we'll put scenarios in there, right? Then you have the process flow. Um, each one of them, have rules like if you don't know the question, if you don't know, don't make stuff up just to write it. Please ask me. Like that's
right.
a good rule to put in there. Um, you know, like for instance, on this YouTube one, when I when I give it the transcript, I'll give it the SRT file, which is like it has the timestamp with it. So it knows
Hmm.
how long the video is, and then it'll give me the timestamps back, and it's like the video might be 23 minutes long, and then the timestamp will be like 35 minutes. They talk about this. I'm like, what are you doing? The video's not even past 24 minutes, and you gave me a timestamp for 35. Oh, yeah, you're right. Thanks for calling that to my attention. Let me go back and redo it. And it'll do it again. And I've done that with GPT-4, 4 mini, O1, and it still does that. So it's kind of it's kind of funny. It gets it a little bit, but then I go on CapCut and I click at like 14 minutes and 36 seconds, and I'm like, that's not what it's talking about. And
Right.
I have to go in and kind of do it a little manually, but and then sometimes math things, like if I'm trying to do projections or give it scenarios, and then I do the math, and I'm not good at math, but I'll go back and be like, that doesn't make sense. Is this how you would do this? Can you show me the equation that you used? And then it's like, oh yeah, you know what? You're right. I made a mistake. Let me go and fix that. And I'm like, yeah, there's no way I was gonna make $1.6 million in the next 3 months based off what the scenario was. I'm just making it up. So
Yeah, I mean it's always something with that, and especially with math. The last little nugget, because I gotta jump off, but the last little nugget that I have is anyone who's doing the prompting, and because this has worked wonders for me, um prompting for the voice bot is if you have like so it records the call while you're testing it and everything. Get the recording, put that in chat gpt, especially if it's not where you want it to be. Have it analyze the recording and then have it update your prompts according to its findings and what it would do to solve the issues. So like I had issues with it, not responding immediately or responding wrong to a question. And so I would put the recording in ChatGPT and then have ChatGPT analyze it and then give me the better prompt.
okay. And then
So
you just
that's
put
just a
that
little
prompt in
aside.
there and just say
Yep,
improve.
yep. As it
Oh,
gives me the revised prompt, then I put it back in, to the voice AI, and then run, do it again, figure out what's going on with it again, and that's the only way I found for it to understand, because I could type it out what's going on, but unless it actually, I guess, reads it or whatever, or hears it or whatever, then it really has an understanding and it will correct everything.
wow, okay.
So I'm gonna hop off, but thank you for the call too. Will these be in these calls? Will they be somewhere where we can? Because I missed the first couple minutes of it.
Yeah, I always put them, they stream live on my YouTube channel, so you can always go to my YouTube and click on them.
Okay.
And go back and watch it. Yeah, so in the beginning, I was talking about how I'm going to start selling one to many with webinars, which I follow that from what's his name, from Russell Brunson, and I uploaded all those videos into the sales course for day one, day two, and I need to just recompress day three, and I'll have that up there probably tonight.
Okay. All right. Cool. Yeah. And
And
so
then I do these calls every Sunday. So every Sunday, at 6 p.m. Eastern time, I do these.
okay, that works perfect for me. I know I did take your advice on the Upwork thing. There's a guy that I follow on YouTube. He has a system with Make.com and Appify where basically it'll scrape each day or however often you want it to do it, the different jobs that are posted on Upwork according to whatever keywords you set up or parameters you set up, and then it actually will use ChatGPT to determine whether it's a job that you actually want to bid on. If it is, it'll actually even create a draft of a um, cover letter or a proposal that you send out. It's really neat. His name is Jono. It's Jono, but I can't remember his last name right now. But it's a really good automation, and he walks through everything, and that would save a lot of time for anybody
Hmm.
that's looking at the Upwork thing. I plan on setting that up this week.
Yeah, send that to me because I would be interested in that. The guy's
Okay,
name
yeah, I'll send it to you. And it doesn't look very
Jono.
complicated. Yeah, his name is Jono. Well, Jono is how he pronounces it, but it's Jono. If you look that up with make.com, you'll probably find him. He's a white guy with red hair.
I see it. This Upwork automation system will change your business.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna check that out.
And he uses high level. So you know, he's familiar with high level. You'll see some stuff that he creates in there with high level too.
Okay,
What's going on?
yeah, I'm gonna check this out.
All right, cool. I'm gonna stay on, but I'm just gonna mute myself.
Okay, yeah, no worries.
All right.
I don't know if anybody else has any more, if anybody else has questions.
Could you share the link because I'm looking Jonah up too and I can't find it.
Yeah, I think this one is it. I'll share it right here. Right there.
Another tool that I use is Perplexity, and it gives me access to ChatGPT, Claudia,
What's
it
going on,
gives you
guys?
access,
It's Jono, and in this video,
and it gives you access to all of the different systems in one.
Yeah, I heard of that
Mm.
before. I've just been using ChatGPT because I pay for it, and I've used Claude. I used Claude to build out a Python script for the cold email stuff. Claude is really good at helping you build. I know nothing about Python, but it wrote an entire script for me, which was awesome. And then that was the only time I ever used that one. But I know what Perplexity is.
And it also has Grok in it, and I find that Grok's sometimes a little bit more accurate than ChatGPT is, depending
Yeah,
on.
they had like I saw something a couple months ago that they had basically like a comparison chart between ChatGPT, Claude, Grok, and something else. Because Grok is Elon Musk's
Yes, it is. It is.
and what I liked about Grok, if I remember correctly, it will find you the cheapest airline ticket, which is pretty cool. You can be like, I need to go from here to there, and it'll search the internet and it'll do the airline stuff. I think it was Grok that did that.
It might be because Grok's supposed to be alive, like a real time
Yeah,
search system.
yeah.
So
So, well, if anybody else has any questions, I'm here to answer. If not, I'll probably go eat some dinner.
one last question.
Sure.
When you're doing your new platform, are you considering taking the because you've already warmed up your email system, right? So
Uh-huh.
would you be open to sending out invites to your webinars to the
To
group?
my webinars that you guys can attend.
No, I'm talking about well, I would like to attend one, but I figured you'd already send out invites to that. What I was thinking of is you have the email database that you've created, right? Would
Mhm.
you incorporate that into your marketing for the new webinars to
Yeah,
invite
I'm
people
gonna.
into?
I mean, that becomes easy, right? Because now I can just scrape all Google, all the businesses from Google and put and get them to go to the webinar, right? So
Mm-hmm.
I'll run ads like as inbound and then I'll do outbound through just scraping. So as long as I can just keep feeding the machine, and it's easy. I just hit a button, it scrapes all of Google. I could do anything. I could do lawyers, I could do roofing, I could do uh, I don't know, aviation companies. I could do really
Yeah.
anything, right? And that's exactly what I would do. So the landing page would just rotate each week with when's the next live webinar. I'd probably send out an email on Sundays, Mondays, Tuesdays, and then Wednesday, hey, the live webinar is coming in and out, going on in an hour. And then just get people there. Yeah, that's definitely a part of it on top of the Facebook ads.
Are you going to add that into our training course that you already have set up for people when you get it figured out?
I could do that. Like I said in the beginning, I don't know if you were here first or
Not
at
the very
first when I
5 minutes.
said.
Yeah, not the first.
Before I share anything and show people like everything, I tend to do it first to see if it's.
Oh yeah, I know that about you. I meant, are you going to share that after you
Yeah,
fine
yeah.
tune?
I
Yeah.
mean, I'm not doing anything any different than what Russell Brunson taught in this entire 3-day course. Like, and the link for I'm doing exactly what I sent that link to Russell Brunson's webinar thing. Maybe you didn't get that.
I don't see it, and
Okay, let me find it. I put it
but I
somewhere.
know it's in our training too.
Oh, that's where I put it. I put that video
You put that video
in.
link in our training.
I put it in day one. So I'll just copy it and send it here too, so you have it. This is exactly what I'm doing. Now, the marketing side of things is going to be basically all the stuff that I've been doing on what's it called? All the stuff that you have inside the prospecting course. So I'm just going to do the cold email stuff. I mean, that's not going to be anything like new, which is just me scraping the lists, following Lead Gen J from his 4-hour course, and then just sending out, hey, I have a webinar. And then now I'm just focused on a webinar. So I click a button, scrape all the leads, put them into instantly, let the emails go, send out. Whoever shows up, great, because I can get millions and millions of emails. And then what's it called? And then just rinse and repeat, right? So the only thing I'm really doing is making the webinar, the presentation better. So like I said, the first one that I do is probably going to be maybe a little rusty, but then, I'll get feedback from the people in the group or on the webinar, blah, blah, blah. Or they might say like, no, I don't really care about that. I care about this. So my secret number 1, secret number 2, secret number 3 might change to really, level with the people that are on the webinar to increase the sales, right? So I think you have it. I think we all have everything. It's just a matter of we just got to do it. Like I just got to sit down and just finish this presentation and then set up the ads. The ads, I wouldn't try to teach anybody that. There's so much stuff on YouTube on how to run ads that I wouldn't even attempt to try to teach that because that's kind of the same.
I'm gonna check out the person that you said for ads and have my husband work on that part.
Oh, Jeff Miller, yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna have my husband do that one.
I have his entire course that ChatGPT was able to extract the thumbnail picture and then put together the hidden YouTube videos. And I have all of that saved somewhere. I need to find it, but it was like $397 a month. And the best thing is just his super, super simple ads. They're just written ads. So I've spent time building out video ads and everything, time and time again. The text ad of attention, go high level agencies, you're doing it wrong, whatever, like 83% show rate, what close rate, $2,700 a month. The proven guide, $7.19. That is the best ad, like just the stupid, simple, straight to the point, put the price on it because the people that go to it, they just know, oh, it's $7.19. You're not trying to hide anything. That is the easiest thing, and that's what Jeff teaches. He has an entire Facebook group. You guys, most of you guys are probably already in there. Look, it's called Facebook Ad Agency Scaling Secrets. I'll share this to you as well. This is the group,
He has a
and
school
this,
group too, you know, school.
yeah, that's the group that I have all the
Oh,
videos.
okay.
That's the one. Where is this? That's the Facebook group. There's awesome information in that group. All those people are really smart. I go there a lot and ask questions. But yeah,
You were able to use ChatGPT and it found all the links that were um not public, but the links that actually you can only access it with the link, right?
yeah, the private videos. I found it from the thumbnail. It was kind of I found it by mistake, but you can find private videos as long as you know if you know how like the thumbnail will be there and you'll be able to click on it. There's a way to extract it in the code that ChatGPT did. I don't know how, but it did.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Got it. Well, thank you, Nick. Enjoy your dinner.
I will. Thank you. Gigi, did you have another question or are you still
Nope,
trying?
I'm good. I'm hopping off.
No worries,
I
no worries.
can't see anybody anymore, I guess, because I'm driving.
That's okay. That's okay. Andy, what's up,
All right.
bro?
Hey Nick, yes, I have a question about the webinar approach that you mentioned in this call. So I'm curious, right? Like if you're doing the webinar and then later on if we also trying to do something similar like what you're doing, then I'm thinking the question for myself, like how would I or any one of us, in this group here to kind of stand out so that, we can all get our own client?
Yeah. Andy, so you've been on these calls a couple times. How many clients have you gotten since the like three phone calls ago?
I think potentially one. So I'm just just talking to my friends. He's a very close friend, and we talk a lot about it, and no payment has been made yet. But he did say that he is willing to commit for a 12 months um, services. But interestingly, he is not willing to pay for the setup fees. He's saying he's happy to pay a little bit higher on the monthly fees, and he's okay to come in with a 1 year. But we have not concretely discussed about the pricing yet. Previously, he was paying $500 a month for 3 months, but he didn't find it valuable. So, but he said this time he actually wants to use it and maximize the use of the Go High Level simply because of the fact that he knows that the ads that the Google's local service ads that he's paying is quite a lot of money, and he knows that he's not maximizing the follow-ups.
Okay, and how did you find this client? He's just a friend?
He's just a friend. He just approached me because like he knows that I've been working on the Go High Level, and like recently I've got some Go High Level, those certification admin. So I got some badges from the Go High Level, the official courses, and I think that he maybe have a little bit more confidence in my competencies. That's why he just kind of reach out and also want to see if there's anything can help him to maximize the return of his ads because he told me he's costing him about $70 to $100 per lead, and he does not want to throw those money away.
Okay, so this is a potential client. It hasn't turned into anything just yet. So you guys are just in talks, right? have you done the project scope document for him yet?
No, I have not. I have talked to him about that. I want to do a project scope document. He refused to do so. But we had a detailed discussion about what he wants. He said like, I mean, I worked with him before. We both work in engineering. So he told me that like all the information that he had explained to me, that is already very clear. He just wants to have that setup to be done. And he said he doesn't want to pay for the setup fee, but he's okay for the 12 months commitment.
Okay, so then how do you know what needs to be built?
Well, we talked about it. So he did say that he wants to have the have the have the open phone system link to the Go high level so that it can so that he can have like a sales pipeline to be tracked. Because right now he's using an open phone system and he's not having like a proper sales pipeline system. And he told me specifically he
Okay,
wants to
but
have a self.
Andy, my question is, this is my point. I don't deviate, and I try to tell you guys this, do not deviate from the process that works from closing deals. So you have been speaking from based on what you told me, you've been speaking with this guy. He's a friend. You're asking me, how do you get more clients? But you're not following the proven system that I have shared multiple times on how to close these people. So he does not want to do a project scope document. Cool. Tell him the only way to get this done, instead of wasting your time and my time to whatever the friend's name is I need to build out on paper exactly what needs to be built. And the reason why, Mr. Friend, is because we keep going back and forth and nothing is getting done, but you're needing to get this completed because apparently you're spending too much money on leads. So the way that I work, Andy, the way that I work so that you and I can both be on the same page, we can streamline this process and we can start to get you to save money is we need to sit down and we need to go through and I need to document what needs to be built. And from that point on, I will be able to work with my team. You don't have to tell them that you don't have a team or you do have a team. I will be able to structurally and properly build this out for you and provide you with this. Now, upon the beginning phases of this, you can build the project scope document for free in this case. It doesn't matter how you charge for it. But you personally, or whoever builds this, there is no physical possible way that you could move forward in a streamlined fashion without knowing what you need to build. When that happens, you present that back to him and you say, look, here is the entire price. However you want to structure the price, whatever you want to come up with, whatever is valuable for the time that you're going to put into it. And you say, upon starting this project, I require 50% down to get this project started. We can add milestones into this. We can do whatever you want on, or however, whatever you, Indy, feels comfortable with on charging the client. But based off the conversation that you just told me, again, it's going around in circles and nothing is getting done because you're not following the proper process to close these clients. If he doesn't want to do it, walk away. Cool, bro. That's not how I work. The only way that this works is we have to document on what I need to build. We can sit here and talk for days and months and back and forth and how much you want to pay for the monthly fee, but you just said that you have one possible client and you're asking me, how do you get more possible clients? I have every single thing organized in a course for you, and I cannot stress enough, go straight to Upwork, click find work, spend $90 on 300 connects, go to ChatGPT, find out what's not working if you're not getting meetings set up, and only focus on getting meetings set up for $250. When you have that system, just that portion of the system in place, you inevitably will get business and you will have a streamline of clients coming through nonstop every single day. There's no reason to go anywhere else. There's no reason to follow any other system or any other person. You can go and follow somebody else that teaches it a different way than I do. I am telling you that I have helped multiple people on these calls, multiple people in the group, myself included, close deals by scheduling a 10 to 15-minute call, creating a project scope document and charging them $250, $150, $47, whatever you want, returning to them with that project scope document, giving them the price, and they 83% of the time will say, okay, yes. It doesn't waste your time, it doesn't waste their time, and you now have an entire document that you know of exactly what needs to be built. And there's no back and forth. There's no, I don't know, I need to think about it, blah, blah, blah. It's a very, very simple, straight up process. And it will work for you as long as you put the time and effort into it. So today is Sunday. What I would suggest that you do is go back to the friend, because you're asking me to help you. So this is me helping you. Go back to the friend and say, hey, bro, I hate going back and forth with you. If we want to move forward with this, what we need to do is let's jump on a 45-minute phone call just so I can pick your brain. Don't even call it a project scope document if he doesn't want to do that. But you need to document what has to happen. And once you do that, you can charge him money or you don't need to charge him the money. That's up to you. You come back to him and say, okay, bro, look, here's everything that we went over. It cost $2,500 and $500 a month, or $6,000 and $197 a month, whatever you want to say. And you put that in your Go High Level account and you send him an invoice. And the first payment is 50% upfront. And then you go back, now you start building it out however you want to build it, or you have Adam and Brennan do it, or I don't know, however you want to build it, it doesn't matter. But if he does not want to do that, you're wasting your time going back and forth. You're trying to convince him. You want to get him to want to buy from you. And the way that you get him to buy is you pull everything out of his head, you put it on paper, and it's what he told you that he wants his business and how he wants it to be run. At that point, you're no longer selling anything to him. You are telling him, this is what you told me. Do you want to buy it? And he will be like, if the price is right and everything is good and it's the way that he wants it, 83% of the time, he's going to say, wow, this is exactly what I need. Yeah, let's do it. That is I don't know how to be any more clear than that. Like everybody
Can I say
on the
something?
call,
Yeah, so so when I talk to him, even for the very first meeting, I think it's kind of similar to maybe one of your prospecting calls in that recorded sales call course. That we spent about a little bit more than an hour. So I would say more or less quite clear laying out about what he wants, as well as what are the tools, as well as he was showing me some of the Zapier integration that he's doing with other third-party booking system, as well as that open phone system that he's currently using. So I think that first meeting that I had with him kind of, I think, laid out all the details for the uh
okay, so if you already have that, okay, then that you didn't tell me that. If you already have that,
very
go back.
detailed, yes.
Yeah,
I did not charge him
go.
though, because it was just like a first meeting, and then boom, and then he just spent about like more than 1 hour, very detailed discussion with me.
Okay, so now you go back to that video and you break it down, the pipeline stages and the workflow. Each workflow has a trigger, has a goal, and has a what needs to happen. And you build out each section of what needs to happen down to the very deep intricacies of everything that needs to happen. What are the tags that are going to be used? what are the internal notifications? Are there emails that need to be sent out? What's the stage that they're going to receive their money? Is there a contract that needs to happen? Is there a webhook from Zapier back and forth? Whatever the case is, you need to build that, because now you need to give him a proposal. It sounds to me like you're in the proposal stage. So you already had that call. You didn't do
I
it.
met him in person. He lived in my house, so I met him in person. Yes.
Yeah, okay, yeah, I mean, yeah, that's fine, you can do that. But now you need to build out the proposal, and that proposal is that project scope document of the expectations, the goals, the time frame, as well as the deliverables. And though, and you have all of those documents that are in the course, that you have all those documents. So you just mimic that, and now you make a detailed scope document. And that has, you know, the intricacies of everything, and you give that to him, and you say, okay, bro, look, here's the price, this is what I can do, and you just give him the price, and if he buys, he buys. And from there, back to your original question, is go on to Upwork this week, every day, spend $90 on 600 connects, and go and start to write messages as a proposal to the jobs that are being posted every 5 minutes on Upwork, and wait for their response. If you do not get a response, then you're writing shitty messages. And so that is what I was telling, I think, Kathy, to go and make a prompt and just have ChatGPT help you tweak it. Now, don't send the ChatGPT copy and paste as the proposal. People will be able to read that and say, this sounds like ChatGPT. It is much better to write a simple message to them, handwritten, not handwritten, like typed out by you yourself, so that you can get them to respond. That's your first homework. Once you start getting them to respond, now you get them on the 10 to 15 minute call. And from there, you start to explain to them and go through the course of how I work, Mr. Client, is we have to build out a project scope document. It costs 250 bucks. It costs $47. Whatever you want to charge for it, it doesn't matter. Once they pay for that, then you build out the entire project scope. Like, I mean, you have everything, bro. You've watched all the videos.
Yes,
So,
I watched the video. I just not well, I guess because I've not really have one of those prospects that is seriously enough for me to actually get going and to draft out that
well,
project scope document.
let me ask you this. Have you made an Upwork profile and applied to at least 50 jobs?
No, not yet.
Okay, well, that's
Yes.
why you don't
I
have a
just
prospect.
yes. No, I was working on understanding about getting that cold email machine, but I think based on the discussion that we have in this call, right? Sounds like based on your experience that the Upworks will probably give a much better returns for the opportunities than the cold email.
Yeah, but Indy, I want you to understand something is the cold email is great, but let's back up, right? Because whatever strategy you use will work no matter what, if you can understand the process to move these potential clients through. So if you're cold emailing them and you're not starting out with, hey, I think we should get on to a quick 5 to 10 minute call, and you're trying to sell them go high level, there's a huge disconnect. The same way that if you were to do it on Upwork, if you were to go to Upwork and you were to say, oh yeah, I can do this, it costs $1,200, you're not going to get responses. So regardless of the channel that you use to find and prospect for clients, you must understand the process that works. And that process that works is what you know from me and what we've been doing every single day on these Sunday fun day calls, you
Yeah.
know, for the past 4 months. And it doesn't matter where they come from. But now we get into the weighted options of Upwork versus cold email. Okay. Cold email works extremely well. Upwork works extremely well. Upwork is so much easier because people are going to the platform. The entire platform of Upwork is for people to be connected with a service provider like you or me, right? So
Yes, I
let me
agree.
ask you this.
It's like a
Uber,
hungry crowd, right? Like
yeah.
the Upwork, the people are already
Well, let me ask
hungry
you
for
this.
it.
If you needed a ride to the airport tomorrow morning, you would probably go to Uber or Lyft, correct?
Yeah, for sure. Yes.
You wouldn't go and put in a Facebook group, locals in my community, hey, is there anybody that could drive me to the airport tomorrow at 6 a.m.? No, because the chances of you finding a local person that you don't know to come pick you up at 6 on a Facebook group is like probably 2%. You're gonna go
Nick,
to Uber.
I agree with you 100%. And I want to respect your time, and I just want to ask you the next question because I think that part about you going to the Upwork, creating the profile, is got a better. It would create a better opportunities for me to prospect and hopefully to close some deals. Now, the second question that I have is that in one of the earlier calls, I think about 1 to 2 months ago, you show us how to use the ChatGPT and kind of generate using some markup graphical programming languages to automatically create the workflow using some other XML based text languages. Is that one, does it help us to do the project scope or we don't need it? Do you know which one I'm talking about? There's one call that you had about 1 to 2 months ago, but you show us how you can use a ChatGPT and install some extension tools so that you can automatically create like a visual representations of the workflows.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
It's called Plant
Uh,
UML.
yes, that sounds about right. So do I need that to kind of would that to help me to create that initial project scope, or that thing is kind of more for us to actually plan out the really detailed like project instructions that I don't even need to master this plan XML in order to make my life easier?
Are you a visual learner?
Yeah, yes.
I could see how it could help you and to work like that. Look, so just so everybody can understand what he's talking about, if you don't know what he's talking about, is this right here is a platform called Plant UML. And so this is one that I had saved from a while ago, but this could help you actually. I don't know how. I think this comes after you build it because it wouldn't help you build it. So if you come over to something like this is the document that you need to build, right? So again, you start out with the pipelines. So these are the pipeline stages, right? And so I don't know. Let me see something. Let me see if I can copy this and I can go through. I'm gonna try something because I think this would come after, but I can say like, can you make this into a plant UML visual? This is a project scope document for Go high level custom built software with pipeline stages and workflows. I would like a visual. I've never done this, but let's see what this spits out. because I think this would help you after you build this out, but I don't think that you would be able to use it to help you construct this first. Because again, go to the second video calls in my course right here, like these videos. So just so you know as well, you know Scott, me and Scott, I helped Scott build out a project scope document, and I used this video as a full like training of me and him going through one of his clients. So this video right here shows you how to build these videos in step number 2, these documents in step number 2. But I have never done this to build it properly with Plant UML. But this is actually a cool thing because this could actually help you show the client what this looks like, because you could go like this and hit submit. I've never done this before. But yeah, I mean, this is it right here. So this is how it works. The lead submits the interest form. They're in pipeline A, stage 001. The status is open. It goes over to here to the questionnaire. It waits 15 minutes to add the Core 4 AI reminders. I mean, but you have to build it to give it to ChatGPT to make this, right? I didn't copy the whole thing. I just stopped. I stopped at like A004, but you could attach this to the proposal if someone else is a visual learner and they would like to see it rather than seeing it like this. Actually, that's a pretty good idea. I mean, I could probably do that for my proposals.
Yeah, but isn't that's what you were doing, like using this exactly, this exact approach like two
No,
months ago?
I use that. No, 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 not for the project scope documents. I use
Oh,
this to help me build out things like this. This is my version of like Russell Brunson's little sketches, right? So I use that for me because I'm a visual learner as well. I use Plant UML to visually see things, but I usually have like a conversation with ChatGPT. I'll record it, through here, and I'll say, okay, I have this idea. I want to have a webinar, and I need to figure out where things are going to go. So the webinar is going to be, I'm going to have Facebook ads and cold email to a landing page. So I need a landing page. And then I'm going to have the webinar on Wednesday, and I need, emails to go out on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Wednesday, an hour before the event. And after they go there, then they're going to have to go to a checkout window and they're going to put their payment in. If someone did check out, they're going to be sent to a different page. If they didn't check out, then they're going to be sent into a nurture campaign, whatever. I would say it like that. And I'd say, can you build me a Plant UML diagram so that I can look at this? And then what I do is I'll bring it into freeform, which is here. I mean, you can do this as well. Like this, I manually built maybe 2 years ago. And so, this takes me, I don't know, 10 hours to do this, whereas Plant UML will just do this in 20 seconds, like you saw, right? And so I use it to streamline my process of just talking the things in my head to get them out on paper and then let ChatGPT and Plant UML build out this. But I've never used it to build this out. All of this is the same thing that's done inside these. I do this manually. I have to. There's no way around that because you have to ask the client and the customer, how do you want your business to be run? And you start with, again, your pipeline stages, and then you go through the workflow stages.
right. Yeah, got it. Yeah. So I think like the way I see it to be like a more streamlined way to build out the project scope as well as that visualization. I think the way I see it is probably like after we do the prospecting and the prospect generally, if they agree to that $250 docs, that phone call, I think then like what you did, right? You just recorded the call and then you can give it some prompt and instructions and to translate that recorded call into become this project the project scope document. And then after that, you can then take that project scope document into this plant UML. I think that would be like an
Yeah,
ideal
that's
workflow.
what, yeah, that's what I was saying. But again, Andy,
Yes.
you're not even at this point. You got to back up and you got to go and get the clients from Upwork first. So everything that you're going to learn is going to go in stages, right? So get
Yes.
really, 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 really good at sending out proposal emails to get responses. Once you get really, really good at that, you're going to start having meetings. And then you're going to come back to me and you're going to say, hey, bro, all right, so I'm getting these meetings. Now what do I do? And I'm
Can
going
I
to
just
say,
be honest? I just want to feel more confident to close out that deal with my friends so that I can feel more confident talking to strangers. This is probably one of the reasons why I kind of like
well,
bend
you got
down.
to just I mean, there's no other way to do that other than just get past it. Like,
Yeah,
if honestly, I think the friend is going to be harder because now he's your friend and you have business in relations to your friend. And if you can't deliver, now your friendship is messed up. I've done that before and I've lost friends because I couldn't deliver on things. And it makes it way harder. Your confidence will raise when you're not attached to the stranger and they don't know you and you don't know them. And the only relationship that you have is a business relationship. And
that's
your
kind of true.
huh?
That's true. That's true. And s- and especially at the beginning, he told me upfront, even before I mentioned about the prices, he straight away immediately right after this discussion, he was like, so the prices, like, I don't want to pay for any like setup fees and stuff. Like the last guy that I hired for the go high level stuff, like he asked me to commit minimum of 3 months, right? But he said, but for you, I'm happy to commit to you for minimum 12 months, but I'm not wanting to pay for the one-time setup fee, even though there is an effort to get involved. So that's what he told me, and
Exactly. And so,
he was very
well,
clear.
that's where you have to have a structural process so that you look extremely professional and you let people know this is the way I work. If you don't want to follow that, cool, go find somebody else. Because now you've set boundaries in your business of this is how I work. And when people see boundaries and they don't see adjustments and like you're flexible and this, that, and the other thing, then they can't take advantage of you, and two, they take you more serious. So it's like, no, I don't deviate from this plan and I don't deviate from this process because I know this works. And if you don't want to pay a setup fee, cool, I can't do business with you. And now you're being taken advantage of from the beginning up front. So if you go to a stranger and you take this limited belief that's in your head that you think that you need to speak with your friend and close him on a deal to gain confidence, you're not going to gain confidence, I promise you, until you go and you fail with 35 strangers first, and then you adjust your tone, you adjust your texts and your emails that go out to these people, and now you're like, you know what, dude, I just failed on 35 people and now I got a client. Cool, this is the way I work, Mr. Client. I do this and this, and if you don't like it, cool, go find somebody else. That's not the way I work. And you will find that when you start to speak to clients that way, not in a not being a dick, I'm not trying to be a dick, but like when you start telling them the boundaries of like, no, the only way that this works is if we build out a project scope and then I return that to you, you can do whatever you want. You can go and hire somebody else, you can hire me, I don't care, but there's no way I will even take on your business without having this. Why? Because we are going to be running around in circles trying to communicate with wasted time on my end. I'm busy and wasted time on your end, and the thing is not going to get completed the same way that it's happened with you and your friend, right?
Like I agree with you. I think I know what are the action items that I need to do. I think the fact that I've been kind of avoiding that to that project document scope, even though conceptually I understand like that the process that you mentioned, I guess that I'm just not very familiar or slash confident in how to craft out that document. I think that one way for me to do it is to kind of go rewatch that video that you just mentioned just then so I can watch the video to see how can I actually create that project scope document so that I can.
Go to all the videos in number 2 and watch all of the videos, and on another screen pull up a Word document and build it out with me live on the video. Like
Yes, that's what
that's
I'm
your
planning to
practice.
do.
Just go through
Hmm.
and understand, why are the questions that Nick is asking important, and how do I put that on the paper, and just build out. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There's 10 of them, which is probably 10 hours. You're going to get 10 hours of practice, and you will have, the only way to get the confidence is to do it. Like I
Yes,
can't teach
no,
you
that
that.
is what I'm planning to do. Because like when I was watching other videos, I was watching all the videos until the like all the other prospecting calls until the video of drafting that document because I was so I won't say honing, I was so into the cold email machine thing, and then I didn't really kind of like realize about the importance about focusing more on the Upworks much more than the cold email, the prospecting for now. So I have this epiphany in this call. So thank you.
Yeah, no worries, man. We just have been on these calls, and I feel bad, bro. You haven't gotten a client yet because you keep going around in circles, and I'm trying to drill it into your head. Like, I think you're working too hard than what it needs to be, and you're being distracted by so many other people out there. And you don't have to just follow my stuff. Like, find something that works, right? For me, what works and the easiest thing is Upwork. It's literally people coming. It's like if you were an Uber driver and people are like, I need a ride, I need a ride, and you just click the button and you're like, okay, I can take you. Like, that's what it's like. It's basically Uber for us. And there's people that are literally like, I have a $6,000 budget. I need to find the right person to build this. And the only thing that you have to do is write a conveying message, the first message, to just get them on a call. And that is the discovery phase of teaching them, hey, here's the way that I work. Here's how everybody else works. I don't work that way. What makes me special is I build out this project scope document for you. And that allows you, Mr. Client, to go and hire anybody. I don't really care if you work with me or not. I have the capabilities of doing it, but I can't give you a price until we go through this document. I charge $250 for it. It takes me about 6 hours to go through. If that's something that you're interested in, click the button, make the payment, schedule the call. If not, see you never. And it's like, that's literally how it goes, bro. And it's super easy because they're like, oh wow, yeah, this guy is different. He doesn't work like the 14 other people that messaged me and said, I'm an expert and I can do this and I can do that and I can do this. They're like, this guy's different. Yeah, okay, that sounds good. And I have an out. I don't need to hire him. He is giving me the out to say, you can hire me or you don't need to hire me. But it sounds like I need this document. You build out that document and you come back to them. And now you're like, hey, remember that crazy whole entire idea you had for your business? Well, I got it all on paper for you right now. It's exactly what you told me that you wanted. Does this look good? Cool. Guess what? It's $7,000. Man, that's exactly what I needed. If I don't want to work with him, I'm going to have to go find somebody else. He pretty much already knows how to do it all. It's 7 grand, but it's going to make me 45 grand. Okay, let's do it. Like, that's literally how easy it is. There's a little bit of steps involved because you got to build out the document and you got to have a grown-up conversation with them and move past your limiting belief of not having confidence. But the way that I just explained it to you, like, that's how I explain it to these clients. It's like,
Yeah.
cool, let me hear what you got to say. That's cool. I understand, but I need to build this out. If you don't want to work with me, cool. And you just saved yourself all this time, think of the whole process that you've gone with your friend. It's going back and forth with no money exchanged, and you're trying to think and you're thinking too hard. It's like, no, these are the processes that I go through. Keep it moving if you don't want to work with me.
Well, I think like with that discussion with my friend, I was not prepared for like a really in-depth discussion because he was just asking me, hey, do you know, like, hey, I need some help with the marketing stuff to do the follow-ups. Like, do you want to just come over to my house and we have a quick chat about it? And I thought like just going to have just a coffee, and then I was just going to tell him that like, let's meet at another time so that we can have a more focused time. And he was like, no, I'm ready now. Let me pull up my computer and show you. So I didn't want to interrupt his flow. So I just kind of went with it. So, and also I think I make a mistake that I did not recorded our conversation, which make my life a little bit more difficult, but I've captured as much information as I could in person. But definitely, I would ask for his permission or anyone's permission to record the conversation even in person. It just makes it so much easier, like what you guys are doing with the Phantom as well. So that's kind of one of my takeaways for the in-person meeting too. So yeah. So, by the way, I'm not spinning around in circles. It may seem that way because in the last couple of months, I've been a lot more hands-on with the Go High level, to just kind of get to know some of the basics and actually get it working. So I think now I'm comfortable in kind of like graduating from the core essentials of the Go High level stuff. And now that's why I want to put, like you putting a hat on, and now I want to put on my sales hat on now. So thanks, Nick.
Yeah, man, you got this, dude. I think what's holding you back is yourself. Like you have
I've
all
got a
the
lot of things.
information.
I've got a lot of things that I kind of want to think about. I think, okay, this is Go High level, and then I think, okay, if this is this voice AI, or what about this like the other like third party reputation management software, and what about that chatbot? Like, how can I string all of them together? What would be the strategy on landing the people, kind of getting them as a lead into the Go High level ecosystem and all that. So I've been thinking a lot about this, and of course, yeah, just so much directions. And I mean, the most direct path, like what you're already showing in this kind of the Sunday call, right, is just to go on the Upwork because that's the most direct path, and I don't need to think too hard about how can I get the list from the reputation management from other SaaS um, into the Go High level.
Yeah, I think you got this, bro.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Mhm.
Of course. All right. Is there anybody else that has any questions that I can help you with?
What's up, Nick? You guys hear me?
Yeah, I can. I don't know who's speaking.
Wow. Sorry if it sounds so bad. I'm in a echo room.
No, it's okay. I can hear you.
I didn't want Indy to take the full beating, man, because honestly, I think that's something everyone had to hear, because that's kind of where we're at. It's just getting started, but not getting started. It's just like procrastinating, overthinking. That's something I was kind of stuck with. Is like I had a friend too, and I didn't want to waste all my energy on him. But a lot of times, me thinking it's something that's going to be good for somebody, and them not actually seeing the bigger picture, kind of you don't want to waste your time with them because they really don't know what they need. So I
Yeah.
think for sure this Upwork, having something like this for the people that are looking for it, once you get it going for them, then maybe later on, if you want to come back to helping friends and you have something to show them, and whether it's for their business or somebody else's business, you can better explain and not have to waste as much time. So having something to show them can maybe finally bring that person in that you've been trying to chase. So I kind of stopped wasting my time with my friend. I had him at his used car dealer. They got all their own stuff going on. They really don't know what they want. They don't know what something can do for them. and trying to convince them is just going to waste your time and energy, you know? So for sure, this Upwork, finding these guys that need it, they already have it in their head, and getting them on board with you can, you know, make whoever you're going into the deal with money. It is perfect, honestly, because I'm over here thinking if I were to approach a random company, HVAC, plumber, whoever, they still have no idea what this can do for them. And that makes the convincing a lot harder and a harder sell, you know? So for sure, this Upwork, it can work for sure. Obviously, you make it work. So
Yeah, it's 100% like, and I don't know, I'm from New York, so I just say things very blunt and very straightforward. Like I wasn't giving Indy a hard time. I want to see Indy succeed. I've known Indy since August, and you know, he hasn't gotten a deal. And I want to help Indy do that the same way I want to help all of you guys do that. And so it's like why would we, I don't know. I think of it like this, like back in the days when the pyramids were being built, like when the wheel came out, it's like those guys were dragging bricks hundreds of miles on their back. And then some guy was like, dude, what the hell are you guys doing? Just use this wheel. You could put like 20 of them on this little cart, and you can get way more shit done faster. And so then the wheel came out, and then they were like, oh yeah, wow, this is great. And you know, they're wheeling all these bricks over to the pyramids. I don't know when the wheel was invented, but you know, that's what I think about. And so it's like Upwork is the wheel, right? Why would we carry all this weight on our shoulders of trying to convince all these people of, hey, you need to use AI. I have this awesome thing. It's voice AI, and it can do this and it can do that. And it's way over their head. But the people on Upwork, they've already done their research. They know what it is. They know what they need. And you're just putting yourself in front of them like, hey, you idiot, I got the best wheel possible. And from there, they're just like, okay, let's see what you know. And if you go in with this confidence of, look, here's my process. This is how it works. Because no one else has a process. No one else is doing this. They're sitting on a call and they're like, yeah, I could probably do that. Yeah, I can do that. I know how to do that. It's like, okay, but I'm about to pay you. Let's just say I'm going to pay you $2,000. If you come across and you're like, yo, I have an entire process. This is how it goes. The first call, we're going to have 10 to 15 minutes, and then we have to build out this project scope document. And they're like, huh, okay, that makes sense. Now they went from, I have 2 grand to, this guy really knows what he's talking about. Now I probably can spend 8 grand on this because I feel confident that he feels confident in what he's able to achieve. And if this is done properly, and I'm able to get all the shit out of my head, and he can put it on paper, and he can show me and prove to me that he's able to do it. Now, don't forget, you guys have all the case studies. You guys have all the documents that I have, that I've done. Like, use that to your advantage, right? And if you get to a position where you end up selling this for 10 grand and you don't know how to build it, well, there's your unlock key to, hey, Adam, Brendan, guess what? I want to join now because I have 10 grand coming in, and I now have the confidence of, I'm just going to go get more deals done because I just went through this process and I know how to do it. And now you just start feeding all the work to Adam and Brendan because they're the ones that are going to fulfill it for you. In the meantime, if you want to do it yourself, what I did for the first like 4 clients was I just joined the Go High Level Mastery VIP days, and I just got on there and was like, hey, Adam, how would I do this? I'm building this out. I'm doing this, you know, and they would just be like, oh, yeah, that's easy. Let me take over your screen, and they just did it for me in 15 minutes, which would take me like 3 hours. So now I was able to increase my abilities of getting stuff done quicker, because what I was finding out is I don't even know what to type on YouTube of what I need completed. Like there's like, I'd have to watch, you know, a 30-minute video just to find a 35-second portion in that video, but I was watching like 30 of them. So I was spending 15 hours just to figure out something that took Adam and Brendan 35 seconds or 15 minutes to do it. So it was like, okay, I did my work. I'm gonna go drink and play golf and hang out and party at the beach. And then I'll come back tomorrow at 1 o'clock. And that's when Adam and Brendan will do it for me. And so you don't like, it's just working smarter, not harder. And when I started all this, I had no idea that anybody else needed this because I'm just good at sales. I've been doing it for so long. And I wish I had someone like myself to come in and be like, Nick, no, follow this way. But everybody was saying the same thing. Oh, you need to niche down. You need to find a niche and you need to create an offer and you need to do this and you need to do that. And I was like, man, that's a lot of work. And then I was trying to sell it. Oh, you need AI because you're a lawn care service and how many phone calls do you miss? It's like, I reversed it and I'm like, how can I help you reach your business goals? And then they just blabber. They just sit there and they just talk. And it's like, oh, yeah, okay, I can help you with that. But we got to make this little project scope document. And I flipped the script from me trying to convince them to them telling me exactly what they need. And then that $2,000 in the beginning that they said they had, magically they have 8,000. And they're like, yeah, I have 8 grand. And it was just that simple adjustment that allowed me to do this, as well as a lot of other people in these calls in our group. But it's not easy. And what I've learned is what you said, Mario, is like everybody's in their own mind, right? So I'm building out this webinar script and I'm kind of at that point. Like I was laying in bed this morning, like, man, actually Friday and Saturday, I was going to sit down and I was going to build this. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go play golf. Like I got scared, not scared, but I was just like, I'm going to put a lot of effort into this. But you know who I'm learning it from? I'm learning it from the best person in the world to learn this from, Russell Brunson, who sold $1 billion. No one else has sold $1 billion online other than Russell Brunson. Like, there's nobody that sold $1 billion. $1 billion is a lot of money. Like, people have sold 100 million, but not $1 billion. And I was laying in bed like, you know what? I just need to do this. Like, that he's doing it. It's working for him. He's selling $10,000, offers to people on his webinar, and he knows the process. I'm piecing together different YouTube videos. I don't have 10 grand to just stop everything I'm doing and take his course because I also have my own clients that I'm getting. Like, I don't necessarily need to switch to this webinar, but if I can get 10 people to buy a $15,000 custom build in one shot, well, one, that's going to help Adam and Brendan because now we have enough cash to go and hire more workers, right? More developers and more people to fulfill that. But at the same time, okay, I got 10 people to spend 15 grand. That's what, 150 grand in one webinar? That's a good problem for me and Adam and Brendan to have of like, okay, dude, I think I just cracked the code to something else. First, we started out with Upwork. Now we're on to webinars, and then I can maybe just have a webinar, like just add AI into your bit, voice AI, right? So that I make Adam and Brendan's job easier. But I have to figure that out. And am I scared? Yeah, a little bit. Like I'm like, I don't really know how to do this, but I'm just following the structure that Russell Brunson has, and he's just repackaging it. That video that I sent to you guys came out 5 years ago. He took that 5 year in the past video and turned it into a 3-day, 9-hour event and sold it for $100 to 700 people. Like he didn't recreate anything. He's just recreating the marketing and he made 70 grand and he probably made, he probably sold at least 10 for, at minimum 10 for 10 grand. So he made another 100 grand, right? So I totally get where you're coming from, Mario. Andy, I was there. I'm not doing anything like revolutionary. I'm just plopping my stuff in front of people that want it. The same way that Uber says, hey, you need a ride? We got a driver. Or Airbnb's like, hey, you want to stay on the beach? We got a house for you to stay at. Right? It's like I'm just using the platform to put myself in front of, whether I'm the driver or the guest that's going to stay at the Airbnb or whatever. Upwork is like Uber or Airbnb, and I'm just putting myself in that situation of, hey, I could do this. And then I'm going in with a bunch of confidence saying like, hey, and boundaries. I think the boundaries are a good thing to set because it separates you from all the other people that are applying for the same jobs. Now, the webinar kind of scares me because I'm going to have to play the convincing game of this is what we do. This is how we do it. It's not like Upwork. It's like cold calling. But if I get enough people in the room, it just becomes a numbers game. And the first webinar, I might close one deal. I'm going to go and I'm going to ask the people that didn't buy, hey, what is it that you guys were looking for or you expected? What could I change? Then I'm going to come back and I'm going to change that. The next webinar, I might sell 3. Okay, but I had 20 people on there. How do I get to close, 10 people? How do I get to close 6 people rather than just 1? But if I can build these little machines and all I got to do is just be on a webinar for, an hour on Wednesday, and the ads send them to the replay on Friday, and the AI goes in and talks to everybody Monday and Tuesday to show up on Wednesday. That stuff's not that hard to do. We have all of that from Adam and Brendan in the prompts. It's just a matter of here's your task, here's your role, here's the thing. That would take me like 35 minutes to write all that out and just be like, hey, we have a webinar on Wednesday. Here's the link. You signed up, go to it. And so I don't know. I mean, that's just me ranting, but I don't think that we need to overthink these things, especially when I've been able to successfully do this and you guys have access to everything that's right there. Does that help you, Mario?
Yeah, for sure. We all just need to hear, I think, what we need like, I was in some previous stuff with drop shipping, and we had an accountability group, which this is basically similar, just always trying to progress and not waste as much time because there ain't no one else that's going to make us do it. So we got to hear what we need to hear sometimes, even if it's the hard truth.
Yeah, exactly. I was actually
So
thinking about making some sort of group like that. I don't know if you guys would want that, maybe like a WhatsApp group, where we can all be in it and go back and forth and talk throughout the week. I can drop in messages if that's something that you guys want. I'm more than happy to make that.
coming into a new year is kind of exciting, you just gotta plan. And I think right now a lot more people are going to be looking for the newer things coming into businesses, which is this is
Yeah, exactly.
people have no idea still to this. There's plenty of people that have no idea about ChatGPT. They don't even know that it exists. So if you can just kind of present it to people and show them the use, and we just got to find those people to present it to. So that's all it is.
Exactly. All right, Aerosmith. I mean, Steven Taylor. It's close enough.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
All right. I just had a few questions. First of all, where's the link for the course where you put the Russell Brunson stuff at?
Did you buy the course?
See, I don't think so. That's what
Okay.
I need the link for.
Let me get you the link. All right, Andy, I'll see you, man. Good talking to you. Go kill it this week, bro. Yes, Upwork, bro. All right, this is the link. There's two there. There's one for the sales calls, and then there's one for the prospecting. I've pretty much told you everything that you need to do for prospecting, but inside there, I have a couple of videos of like how to set up the profile.
Okay,
Uh,
I think I have that link. I was just looking at it a minute ago. The
okay,
prospecting community course.
yeah.
Okay.
And then there's a little button I think inside there to get the sales course. And that sales course, I update this as much as possible. Like I put in all my sales calls in there. After the call, I just put the Fathom in there, download it, throw it in there, and then you guys can watch them. Um, you know, all the time.
When I start prospecting, should I use a Gmail account or does it matter?
Yeah, are you gonna do the what's it called?
Like for Upwork?
The cold email?
I don't know where I should start. So, I mean,
I mean, if I would just start at Upwork, bro.
yeah,
Like just start at Upwork.
okay.
The cold email is good, but if you're just now getting started,
hmm
start with the what's it called? The cold
Upwork.
email. I mean, I'm sorry, the Upwork. Don't start with cold email.
And
Um,
Gmail is all right for that.
yeah, I mean, you can use Gmail.
Um,
But you're going to be doing it on Upwork anyway, so all the conversations are going to be handled through Upwork, like even the meetings. They give you, you'll connect your calendar for your availability through your Gmail account, but the way Upwork operates is all of the communication has to be on the Upwork platform because
okay.
when you here in the prospecting course, it will show you kind of what I'm about to tell you is um so their rules and regulations are if you are about to hire somebody, the payment has to go through Upwork, right? After you close a contract out, then you can pretty much do whatever. So the way that I structure it is I sell a $250 consultation on Upwork. That consultation is just that project scope document. Now, the reason why I do that is I follow their rules and regulations or whatever you want to call it. Now, once they buy that, the contract is done. I did my work on Upwork because they take 10% of that. So for 250, they take 25 bucks. If I sold a $10,000 build on Upwork, they're going to take $1,000 from there.
Right. Yeah.
So now I fulfilled their required agreement, terms and conditions, whatever, of no, I did my job. If they want to hire me outside of Upwork, you guys can't give me shit for that because I covered myself
hmm
with doing that. So I can't get in trouble according to their thing. Now, if the client wants to hire me after I provided a service to them, the first one, according to your rules and regulations, then that's on them. And so that's where now you can do the job outside of Upwork and you charge 10 grand and you don't have to give up $1,000.
Nice.
And at that point, if you've made it to that point, bro, no one's going to care that you have a Gmail account. I mean, you can make your own website inside Go High Level. Like, did you buy a Go High Level subscription?
Yeah, I had a subscription right before I started watching your stuff.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so you can, what's it called? Um, inside there, you can make your own Gmail account, you can make your own not Gmail, but your own like, I don't know.
Admin account or whatever.
Yeah, whatever your website is, right? Um, and at that point, you just go into your Gmail account and make a Google Suite or Google Business Suite account. It costs $5 a month, but it's
Mhm.
$5, right?
Right.
And now you have, Stephen at whatever the domain.com that you want. Uh, you know, if you made it that far and you did that, no one's gonna care if you have a Gmail account. Like
Okay.
they don't care.
Where do you know where in high level I can look for a list of all the AI prices?
Yeah, so we don't use anything AI inside Go High Level like their stuff. So what we have, I'll show you what we have. Let me pull this up. So Adam and Brendan and Jarrell and really all of us in the group have been like beta testing this. And what we have is Marcus. And Marcus, that's memberships. But it's not me. That happens every time. So Marcus is AI that works outside of Go High Level. And this is all within the membership area of Go High Level Mastery, right? So I'm a member there. I work with them every day. And this is its own it's a snapshot, but it runs outside of Go High Level and it runs on servers. And so we use everything inside Chat GPT. So if we go to the playground, all of my assistants are not Go High Level custom assistants. They actually are inside Chat GPT. So it runs a webhook outside and now you're in Chat GPT. So if I ever need to update something for my what's it called? For my AI assistants, I do it right here inside Chat GPT. The reason being is because this is way, way, way more sophisticated than what's it called? Than than Go High Levels. So what it does is we have the power to have a RAG AI model inside our texting AI, and we can route it. So what that means is you can work with a super sophisticated company, like let's say it's I don't know, a manufacturing company. They have, first in, first out, last in, first out. I don't know, however they're manufacturing parts, right? And so those parts, they need to go to, they come from the distributor first, and then they get cut, and then they have to be sent over to, quality control. I'm making this up, I have no idea, but each one of these assistants can be traded off, and this could be quality control, this could be, shipping, this could be I don't know, like accounts receivable, this could be the milling process. I don't know, it could be whatever. And so now each one of these assistants over here has its own role, and inside Go High Level, we route it to the correct assistant. So what that means for a company is that there's no way that it could get bogged down or confused, because we're basically, this is the brain. We're passing it around to different assistants. The user doesn't know, but we can keep track of where it is. And now we can do anything that the company wants to do. Like, you don't make it in one one prompt. Now we're able to expand, and so we route it to different spots, different switches. And if you want to add another one, you just come here, add a branch, and then we could change this. Like the AI would respond 31, and that would mean it goes to a different assistant. You could change this to respond cat, respond dog, respond rabbit. You could change it whatever you want, or a color, or whatever. And at that point, you can add on all kinds of stuff. So like when someone, for instance, comes through my landing page, if they don't buy the upsell, then they don't go through this one. They just go to this communication start. So my point is like, there's a wait stage in here, because if someone comes through and they buy the $7 item, well, we have to wait 13 minutes to see if they buy the upsell. if they buy the upsell, the other workflow pulls them out of here, right? So I can control what message someone gets, right, at any point in time. So that's what makes, that's what we're doing. Like Closebot can't do that, Vappy can't do that. Like none of these $97 a month things can do that. And so inside the Go High Level Mastery group, are you a member over there? Are you in there?
Not yet.
Okay. So with that membership, you get all of this. Right? So you get access to all of this. And then I don't know if you've seen what we do over there, but
Access to it already built out like that? Like the systems are ready, coded and ready?
Everything is completely good to go. And then every single day, obviously not now because it's the holidays, but we have our live calls, right? So it's 2 hours long, Monday through Friday. And then you come in here and, there's 192 members in here. And we go through, every day, and people are sharing what they need help with, whatever it is. Like if you have a client, you need help with it. Like this is workflows and automation days on, I think that's Wednesdays. This is Tuesdays, Mondays is basic boot camp. Fridays is anything goes support. Wednesdays is support. And so you just go through, there I am right there. Like you just go through and they will build everything out for you. And then you get access to all of this, like all of this stuff in here. I mean, you get the Core 4 AI system, which is not as sophisticated as Marcus, but it works. You get all how to set up all your Go High Level stuff. These are basically everything that you need to know about Go High Level. What else? Prospecting methods. Learn everything about Go High Level. There's another one. So this is your company setup, your agency settings, your sub account setup, like LC phone, email services, A2P registration, building your agency. Like Adam and Brendan have spent years putting all this stuff together. Everything is in here.
And that's all in high level too.
This
The
is
master-
hosted inside Go High Level. Yeah.
Okay.
This is inside their agency account. Like, but yeah, and then I don't know if you have, you should have this document, right? This is the document that you got.
Yeah, I got that pulled up right now, as a matter of fact.
Okay, I just added, so people were complaining. They're like, dude, this thing fucking sucks. It's all just your affiliate links. And I'm like, well, yeah, you paid $7 for it. If you buy anything, I'm hoping that I can make something off of it, right? But like this is everything that I've done. But here, I think it's this one. I can send you an email because they have not made a new document. So for $5.97 a month, you get everything plus the Marcus AI license, which that license is like $300 a month. With this one right here, they haven't changed this landing page. It doesn't include Marcus and it's $4.97. And so if you want the Marcus, it's just $100 extra instead of 300 with your membership. And we haven't built out a landing page, but I do have that somewhere. I can send you an email with it. I think what we have it in is the AI. If you want to just use the AI by itself, I don't know. I have to find it. I can email it to you. if you
Okay.
want. Today I added some stuff in here. I added this one I added today. This is basically what we went over today.
In this video, you are going to
Adam and Brendan invited me to one of their webinars, and I basically just explained what we went over today. In one of their webinar meetings. So I added that, and then I put all of the documents, the example documents. These are all the example sales documents, the project scope documents in here for everybody so that you can use these on your sales calls. I keep updating this as well. This will constantly be updated, but everything is here. And then I'll shoot you an email with the link for the, what's it called, for the AI one.
Real quick, Steven, if you do join, for me, like I was getting into it thinking that I had to learn the ins and outs of everything before starting anything. So it was really overwhelming big time, just thinking that I had to learn all this webhook and workflow and all this. But Nick better explained to, at least in the start, better. It's easier to find clients. Learn it, obviously, just so you can explain it, but don't worry about all the fine details. I was honestly getting a headache thinking about it and stressing, thinking that I had to be at the point that Adam and Brennan are on how it works. But
Just sell
if you
first,
get,
build later kind of thing.
yeah,
Yeah,
sell
because
it.
you have access to them to do it for you. Even if you're not in the partnership program, I don't know your skill level of go high level or your where you are in your agency journey, but like Mario said, is, you know, I think that was my biggest mistake is I spent a year trying to figure it all out. And then I met Adam and Brendan in person. And I was like, bro, why don't you guys just do this for me? There's no reason for me to go and try to learn all this stuff and build my own team. Like, why don't I just use you guys as my team? And they were like, that's a great idea. Okay, yeah, pay us $2,000 and we'll do it. And I'm like, okay, yeah, let me just go and get more business. Like $2,000 is not really anything when I'm making 30 grand, like it's way easier to just have you guys do it. Then I don't have to deal with it and I can just go get more clients.
That was
And
my
so
next question. What's the rev share? 2,000 for them, and then whatever I charge,
So
I
the
keep.
rev share is there's two options and it's in that folder, but let me share with you what it is. Let me go back to that folder. Oh, you can't see my screen. So basically it works like this. So for instance, like if I were to sell a build for 11 grand, the price that they gave me was 4,500. So the difference between 11 and 45 is 6,500. So if I'm in tier one and I pay $1,000 a month, I get 40%. So I keep 2,600 of the 6,500 plus my monthly. So like I'll charge anywhere between $297 to $800 a month. So I keep the monthly, but then I make 2,600. Now, if I join this is the one that I'm in. If I join the $2,000 a month one, then I get 60% and they get 40%. So I walk away with 3,900 from here. So what I have been solely focused on is how do I just get more of these builds? And that's where the Upwork comes into play, because one a month is basically covering my entire thing. So I put like a personal thing on my own, like a quota for me. I need to get at least minimum 4 sales per month. And that way I'm walking away with, let's just round this up to 4,000. So I'm walking away with 16 grand a month while this is completely paid for. Plus, if I get 4, I charge usually $397 a month. So 397 times 4 is like what, $1,600? So yeah, I'm getting 1,588 monthly on top. So now in a month and a half, 2 months, my monthly is now paying for this and I got it for free. So anything on top is just, icing on the cake. It's free. So after my first, let's see what 2000 divided by 400 is. After my first 5 clients, I'm in the program for free. So now I'm in for free. I don't need to pay anything else anymore. Like, it's not me, it's my clients that are paying. So, the first 4 are difficult, but I would say join the 597 program first, right? Then focus on getting clients, and your first client, just join this or this one, whichever one you want to join, and let them pay for it, right? So now, and this also includes the 597. This also includes the 597. This one, you actually get, all your ads and your content created for you from Raul and Cody. So they do all your ads. So if you want to start running ads for your own agency, they'll do it for you. You obviously have to pay the ad cost. So if you wanted to spend $1,000 a month on ads, that's on you, but they'll manage it for you. Obviously, because they're gonna be getting a split here. So it's in their best interest to make your ads run properly, right? Because they want you to be successful too. And then you get all the calls, you get all the Marcus stuff. And with this one, you actually get Ava, you get the voice AI. So this is kind of a pretty big upgrade. But what I did is I started out, they didn't have Marcus, so I started out at the 497 plan for like a year. And then once I had this epiphany of why am I trying to do all this shit myself, we created this thing here, these tier 1 and tier 2. And now I don't have to do any of the work. And all I do is I just sit here and mess around on Upwork every day and just get clients.
Nice.
So
I think if you wanted to learn and build out everything yourself, the 597 or 600 is fine.
you're gonna do a little bit of building. Like I'll do, like, especially for my own business, I'll do my own building myself. Because inside that 597, like Mario said, it's just inevitable. You're gonna learn how the platform works because you're on the calls. Like you ask a question, they show you, and then everything starts to stack, right? So the other guy in there, he's gonna ask a question, and then you're gonna learn from his question, and then in 2 months, you're like, oh, wow, okay, I have a really good foundation of how this works. Plus, you get the course with, 100 videos of how does the calendar work, how do forms work, how does payments and contracts work, how does this work, right? So,
And I think being able to contact their support helps big time. I've been stuck on things for hours just trying to find something so simple. And I just send a message there and boom, they tell you how to do it, list it out. You don't even have to get on the call. They can actually just send you a email form of how it's done.
yeah, or you could create like a Loom video and be like, hey, I have a question, and it's like 24/7 support. There's a bunch of guys in there that will respond and be like, oh, you got to do this. They'll respond with you with a Loom. Right now, no, until January 2nd, because they basically just took off for the holidays. But next week they'll be back, or whatever day January. Yeah, I think January 2nd is next week.
It's like Wednesday, I think.
Yeah.
With all this new stuff that they announced with OpenAI, I'm sure they're going to start making a lot of changes.
Oh yeah, I saw that OpenAI is going to start making some changes with some stuff. So, well, yeah, Steven, I'll shoot you over an email with those links so that you can look at it. And then I gotta eat something. It's 9. We've almost been on here for 3 hours.
Yeah, I'm getting hungry too. I just had 2 more questions though. Like, should I
Sure.
worry about like not having deals already that people won't consider me because it's gonna be like, nothing brand new bio, brand new.
No, I started out the same way, Ro. Use my project scope documents in the course and tell them like, hey, look, like this is the process. And if you need me to be on some sales calls with you, so what I do is, I'll help you close the deal. So let's say, I don't know, if you end up, regardless if you do or you don't join Go High Level Mastery, I can help you close the deal. So let's say we sell it for 8 grand. I'll charge you $1,000 to sell it, but like let the client pay me the 1,000, not you. So if you need to cover your costs, just raise it an extra 1,000 and we'll close it, right? And if it
Yeah.
comes down, whatever. And then if you join Go High Level Mastery and you need me to help, like I'll help anybody close the deals. Like you're not paying for it. I'll help you close the deals and the client will pay for it. They don't need to know that. And so, but I started out not knowing anything about this. And when I put it into that structured format, it really, it got them past like thinking, like even getting to that conversation of like, is this guy new? Like, does he even know what he's doing? Because that project scope document clearly shows that you do know what you're doing, whether you build it out yourself or Adam and Brendan build it out. I will say that building out a project scope document, not knowing anything about Go High Level, probably will be a little bit challenging. But if you join the 597 group, you can go into the meetings and, well, even just watch my training of how to do it. Adam and Brendan will help you structure the proposal, we'll call it a proposal, but the project scope document the correct way. Like that's the most important thing. It's not really anywhere outside of this Go High Level Mastery group. I've been talking about it on YouTube and with everybody here because it's working for me, but no one is building a project scope document. They're building a proposal, and I've went and hired people like just to see what theirs look like. Like I never went through with it, and they're garbage. Like they're not, no one is doing what we're doing in this group. And so I wouldn't stress or feel that you're not going to get a client because you're new to it or you don't have something to back you up. Again, use my documents for your calls so that they can see and obviously go through those documents so you're not on a call and you don't know what you're talking about, but like just go through them and talk high level, pun intended, about it. Like, this is the pipeline, these are the pipeline stages, this is for a financial company. And then if you decide to work with us, we have the detailed scope, and then just Brittany is the girl's name. So Brittany is the project scope, and then Brittany the detailed scope. You switch your screen and you say, if we decide to work together, what this small 6-page project scope document turns into is actually about 75 pages. And this is what me and my team specialize in. Here, I'm just going to show you so you see it because. So for instance, like if you were in a call and you were talking to the person, you would say, look, so this is what I'm selling for $250. We go through and we organize your goals and the desired outcomes. This, for instance, was for a financial institution that raises capital for multifamily homes. And what we do is we build out the customer journey. So in this case, they actually had a series of different pipelines. And so, we have accredited investors, not accredited, family offices, custodian, right? And so what happens is the workflows coincide directly with each one of these pipeline stages. So when we come down here, you can see each pipeline is organized in folder A. So everything is super organized. And why do we do this, Mr. Customer? Because let's say you don't want to work with us anymore. Well, you're buying your own proprietary software that's built inside your own CRM system. We have an organizational structure that anyone can go in and they can find out where this is working, so that if you hired somebody else, it would be very easy for them to understand where things are moving and how it's organized. And so we go through and we make this super just detailed in a 30,000 foot approach. And we give you a timeline of how long it's going to take to build. We'll spend a week gathering all the requirements. And what we do there is we turn that into a detailed scope. And this is after you decide to work with us, if you so decide to. And what that, simple, this is 7-page document turns into is a 75-page document. Now, this one is, very sophisticated, a lot of moving parts, but this right here goes to show you that me and my team know how to do this stuff. Every single thing is documented. Every single thing is a moving piece. There's a trigger, there's an action, and then, there's a what needs to happen. And all of this stuff is built out. Now, you don't do any of this, Mr. Client. This is what me and my team do. But this, and I use this quote, is we basically have 10 days to sharpen, to chop down a tree. We spend the first 9 sharpening the blade. And this is what we do so that you and I and your team and my team are all on the same page, so that this can flow and function properly with nothing missed. And at that point, they're like, holy shit, this guy knows what the hell he's talking about. Yeah, I mean, this is a lot of stuff. This is incredible. Like, this is wild. All this stuff is in my head. And I'm like, yeah, we take that out of your head and we put it on here and we put it into a proper working system for you, so that you can make more money and you're working on your business, not in your business. And they're like, yeah, $250, let's do it. So that is, and you have access to all these, right? So these are the ones that I share with the clients. This one is a new one. This one is a new one. Yeah, this one is a new one. This is a detailed scope of a project scope document. This actually has 2 businesses, but you can see, like, I mean, it has everything in here. And now for you, if you were to go through and do this, Stephen, like, I mean, you have to know where the custom values sit. Like, this would be, personally, like, I have no interest in ever doing this. I can read this and I can understand what it's doing, but for me to build this out, man, this would take me a month and a half to do this. Like, I have no interest in doing this. And that's why I pay $2,000 a month to be a part of the group, and I'm not paying for it anymore. The clients monthly is paying for it, but it allows me to just get to this point, dish it off, and not worry about any of this. Like, this is a lot.
So when we say, like, one of the parts of your project scope document said it takes about 6 weeks, does it really take 6 weeks?
Yeah, I mean, they will, where is that? That's right here. So we give them a timeline. So we spend about a week gathering the requirements. And now this doesn't mean we're a week on a phone call with them. If you join the partnership program, you don't need to, you're not a part of it really anymore. Once I pass it off, I never talk to the client again. Like, and I have, because I got worried, and they're like, dude, no, these guys are awesome. Like, everything is perfect. I'm like, oh, okay. So they spend about a week doing this, but it might be like 1 or 2 days just based on their schedule. So they might join on Tuesday, and then the next one they join on Friday, and they just go through, and Nick or whoever the project manager is, they'll ask the right questions so that they can build, the detailed scope out. And then the duration, yeah, it depends on how big the build is. I mean, it will take 5 weeks or maybe 6 weeks. I think the longest, it's not one of my clients, but one of them, they're building out an app, and it's like 8 months. And it's a lot of coding. It's a lot of work. I'm not a part of that project. I didn't sell it. I don't know who did, but I know that they're working on it, because my cousin is one of the project managers, and he was like, dude, we have an 8-month long project. And so then they'll do a testing phase. So then they'll spend a week like just trying to break it. And then they'll spend a week training them and giving them all the documentation and the SOPs for if there's any employee that needs to be involved, like, what do they need to do? What buttons do they need to click? How do they move it from one stage to the next? Whatever it is. And then they give them like a warranty, like 4 weeks or 2 weeks, depending on the build. Honestly, I've never seen anybody have to go through this again because we sharpen the knife 9 times before we chop down the tree. And so everything is correct before we even start building it, like according to what they need. And so like this is 5, 6, 7, 8. So this takes a full 8 weeks until it's like, delivered. Now, if they tested it in 2 days, if they tested it in 2 days, then they just move to this one and then they start implementing it in the same week, right? It doesn't matter. It's really up to the customer, but we just standardize it to, a week for this, 5 for that, a week for that, a week for that.
Okay.
And Nick, I wanted to ask, how's it going with those guys in the first call? Daniel, he's a real estate from another country, wherever they're from.
Yeah,
Him
they
and
are
his
they are from Israel, and to be honest, he's one of the clients that I've never heard back from. I think that they're just going through the war in Israel, and like I don't think they're focused on this.
oh, okay, so they're not
I-
around.
No, I had been emailing them and I hadn't heard back from them. And I don't know what happened. I hope everything is okay. I don't know. I really don't know. I just know that they live in Israel and I never heard back from them. It was going great. We were about to sign, and from there, I don't know. I've emailed them like not even business. I'm like, hey man, are you guys okay? I know things are bad over there. Still didn't hear from them.
That's crazy. I was curious because they were someone that looked organized and they ain't about games.
Oh yeah. No, they were super organized. The other side of it is it was very difficult to set up meetings because of the time difference. Um,
Yeah.
it was like 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning for me to meet with them, or like if they wanted to do it, it was like 1 o'clock in the morning their time. It was something weird, and we managed to meet. Um, but I'm not sure what happened.
What about that wine guy, that higher end they do those business meetings over wine?
That is Olivia's client, so I'm helping Olivia with that, and they told us to get back to them after the new year because they are going to be reassigning their budget. So Olivia, in the beginning of this call, she was like, "Hey, we need to get together because we gotta set a meeting back up with them because they're gonna get their budget, right? So if they don't use it, then I think they like lose it, like companies like that.
Yeah.
So that's still in the works. It's just a matter of I don't know. People get in the holiday season. I'm not used to it because my work, I don't care what day it is. I'll still get work done. I'll take days off, but for me,
If it's there, you'll work on it.
yeah, exactly.
No, I was curious because those guys sounded pretty promising, for a client.
Yeah, I have, you know, been working on Upwork. I had a
And Nick, I think you froze up. Either Steve.
Yeah, he froze on my screen too.
Yeah, I think they disconnected. We have to message them.
What? Why am I the host now?
It's been a long call, honestly. It's probably like a timer thing.
Yeah, he said he was trying to eat something anyway, so
All good,
maybe
man.
we should just end it.
Yeah, I'll end it there. We'll hear from him later.
Well, before you go, I had one more question, and I was looking it up right when he froze. Like when it comes to making a Upwork profile, I found some examples, but what should I put down? Like, am I an infrastructure engineer? Am I just a generative AI consultant? Like, what am I? What are we?
Message Nick. He can send you his profile because honestly, I basically I used his about me and all and
Hmm.
title and as much as I could at least to create my account. I don't think you have to be very specific, so
Yeah,
it'll present it on the page of what you are. But if you just kind of copy paste what he has, it's all basic. I take it as like you are everything in that profile because you're basically branching off and
doing the
handing
same
it over
thing.
to yeah, you're handing it over to the guys that can do it. So
Right,
even if you can't personally, yes, in the description, you in reality can do all that
right. Because
by
that's what
having
we're
that team.
presenting.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that's how I kind of took it. It seems a little discouraging because you're like, man, I can do all this, and